What about the speed? You feel familiar, don't you? Cloud Dance lifted her eyes and looked at the dragon. There was a trace of complexity in her eyes. Long Qingxie chumu a smile, the fundus is deep like pool water, really feel very familiar. You have feelings, don't you? Cloud Dance can't express any emotion in her eyes. She whispers, like asking the dragon for evil, or talking to herself. Long Qingxie put away his unfathomable eyes, and raised his smile at the corner of his mouth. He lifted Cloud Dance into the air again. Evil said with a smile, no matter what reaction he has, I still think it's better to have you. Shameless. In the quiet pavilion, two figures sit on the ground. The breeze stirred their clothes, which were folded and danced wantonly. No one could see that they were a perfect match for each other. What are the 5 elements? The cloud dances from the dragon to pour evil in the bosom to slightly lift the Mao Wei. Dragon Qingxie raised a smile, doting on her circle more tightly. Magnetic voice Lo Wei, this kind of thing, for husband how can know? Cloud Dance willow eyebrow a horizontal, the eye Mao some despise of glance at him, really don't know. She raised a sneer at the corner of her mouth. Just after he heard the 5 elements, the smile at the corner of her mouth became more mysterious. Although it was only a moment, it couldn't escape her eyes. Long Qingxie sighed helplessly and tapped Yunwu's forehead, little thing, I still like you a little bit stupid. Isn't it stupid of me to ask you a question now? Cloud Dance mouth slightly a hook, showing a touch of ordinary people in front of a lazy woman never look. Long Qingxie sighed, this little thing, what are the 5 elements? The cloud dances the star Mao to pick, the eye ground is full of curiosity. She hasn't come into contact with the Real Beast Gate, but she can imagine how strange and mysterious a place that even the divine summoner can't easily enter. I only know 3 of them, the Crystal of Snow Mountain, the Tears of Flame Mountain and the Light of Ancient Times. Dragon Qing evil sword eyebrow a low, drooping eyes looking at Cloud Dance evil spirit helpless smile. What does that mean? Yunwu frowned slightly, a little puzzled at the bottom of his eyes. He didn't quite understand the meaning of the 12 words. The most pure crystal of Snow Mountain, the hottest crystal of Yenshan, and a touch of ancient light left over from ancient times. It's very difficult to listen. This is the cloud dance's first emotion after listening to Long Qingxie. The size of the Snow Mountain is extremely cold. Can you imagine that it's easy to find a crystal as big as a fingernail? Can you imagine that it's easy to find a teardrop the size of a button? Not to mention a touch of light left over from ancient times thousands of years ago. Listen, it's a myth. And these are just 3 of them. I don't know what the other 2 are. What we need to do now is to find a scar old man in the vast crowd. The cloud dances with a touch of sadness in her eyebrows. She stares at the blue sky and frowns slightly. The future is dark. After a 2-day rest in the residence, they left for Qingqing town on the 3rd day. On the way, they met Shangguan, who left in case of emergency and appeared as promised. After explaining the reasons to him, they decided to go to Qingqing town together. And Shangguan also told Yunwu all the information he knew. It's true that the one who imprisons me is not the family of beasts, and my father is only the deputy leader. Jinling galloped in the air, and the hurricane roared past. With the languid and indifferent voice of Shangguan, it came to the ears of Yunwu and Longqingxi. If not, it's not the family of beasts. Where is the real beast sect? Have you been there? Cloud Dance picks eyebrow to see to go up official, the eye ground doubts flit by. Or in the eyes of outsiders, her question is funny. Shangguan is the son of the deputy leader of the 10,000 Beast sect. How can he not have been to the 10,000 Beast sect? But in the view of Cloud Dance, it's not impossible. Shangguan may not have been to such a mysterious place. Sure enough, Shangguan shrugged his shoulders and shook his head. His eyes passed a chill and said, I haven't been, but fortunately I haven't, otherwise I won't be able to get out anymore. Does the family of beasts come in as soon as they enter and come out as soon as they speak? Yunwu looked at Shangguan's natural and uninhibited eyes. At the moment, he was a little chilly, so he didn't continue to ask. Maybe the origin of the 10,000 Beasts sect is a puzzle and unknown to her, but for Shengguan, it may be a topic she never wants to mention. One day, there will be no less people who should pay the price. Cloud Dance stares at the distance, the corners of the mouth are tight, and the cold and gorgeous face outlines a stubborn arc. This is her promise to Shengguan. Shengguan wanton corner of the mouth slightly a yawn, smile continued to spread, small 5, I have always believed that you can make trouble to the sky, also have always believed that you can be free to look down on everything in the world. Thank you. The cloud dances, the eye ground waves for a moment, indifferent response. It's not modest, Qingqing town. It's a town known as the capital of imitation. If you come here to imitate ancient swords, there are all kinds of magic drugs. Only what you can't think of, there's nothing you can't find. At this time, just at noon, the whole town was full of people, even the peddlers stopped shouting. 3 people together to an inn, ready to eat first. Bang wow. The sound of heavy objects hitting the table and china breaking. As like as 2 peas, I can't see how necklace you are wearing on your neck. I look familiar with it. How can it be the same as the necklace that I lost yesterday? Half full, bang, a heavyweight knife across the table in front of the 3. The table is not big. There is a heavy knife across the table. Apart from the debris, the whole table can't hold anything else. Cloud Dance glanced at the messy table, the cold light at the bottom of his eyes flashed by, and gave a cold glance at the person who was looking for fault. See clearly, is it the same? Of course, I can see clearly. It's what I lost. Take it down for me. Otherwise, I won't blame you. The man with a small mouth is not tall and slightly fat. What people remember most is the mole on the tip of the nose, which is particularly eye-catching. Bullying new people again. It's time for such a person to learn a lesson. He's the son of the mayor of the town. He's rich and powerful, and he's surrounded by experts. Who dares to provoke him? The cloud dances to smell speech, the corner of the mouth passes a touch of bloodthirsty smile, the son of the mayor? I'll send it to your door. It's just for use. Put your hand out. If you can catch it, I'll give it to you. Cloud danced toward that man's slightly provocative slightly pick eyebrows, good death is to stimulate his young master vanity in general. If not, the man was deceived, bring it. The man stretched out a fat hand and stagnated in the air. Because of the provocative look of Yunwu, his tone became a little irritable and impatient. Cloud Dance glanced at the hand in front of him. The bloodthirsty radiance of the corner of his mouth was raised. Under the veil, the perfect face was as cold as ice. Ah! A scream rang through the inn. Then there was a crisp sound of dislocated arms. Oh, young man, can you hold the necklace even if you look like this? Cloud Dance sneers at Jia Yunan, who is in agony. There is a trace of irony in his words. When all of you saw this scene, they all looked at each other, and their eyes were suddenly shocked. Her speed is too fast. As soon as I saw a residual shadow, the man's arm was dislocated. Who the hell is she? Since you have come to Qingqing town, don't you know the little overlord of Qingqing town? I dare to take off my arm. Jia Yunan's face was slightly pale, his whole body was shaking slightly, and the corners of his mouth had begun to turn purple. Cloud Dance takes back her sight with a cold hum, but her mental power is put on the 2 people who have been hiding in the crowd. The talent of blue rank is one in the early stage and one in the middle stage of Wuzuan. Is it all about protecting this punk kid? Yunwu smiles and thinks. It seems that the mayor of Qingqing town should have some skills, but how can he teach such a bear-like son? Hiss if you don't kill her, come on. Hiss. Jia Yu south back a few steps, pointing to the clouds, hissing pain of loud roar. Suddenly, in the next second, 2 strong grass breaths suddenly came. Oh, this wine is terrible. The Shengguan looked at the wine in his glass and shook his head complaining. Without waiting for the cloud dance, a clear and strong smell diffused and scattered, hitting the rolling grass and trees in a parabola. The two collided, and they even reached each other in a strange way. Not only the crowd watching, but also the two men of Wuzuan level were slightly stunned. Strong full of wood elements attack, was such a drink offset? Who is this man? What are you doing? Kill all three of them. Jia Yunan was so angry that he wanted to save face. Of course, he couldn't see the strange strike just now. In his anger, he also included the dragon Qingxie, who had been silent and just smiling. Long Qingxie's sword eyebrow lowered, and his black eyes looked at Jia Yunan with a smile. I'm just a table player, innocent. Cloud dance forehead a black, tiny lift mao white he one eye. Innocent? Thank you for your 3 parts. After that, the two men looked at each other. In addition to the horror, there was a little hesitation in their eyes. The next second, the silver light of the long sword flashed in their hands, and their figures swept away. They came to the clouds like magic. For a moment, the atmosphere of the whole inn suddenly condensed and became serious, and the innkeeper just looked at the counter with a sigh. It seemed that he was used to it. Cloud dance sneers, takes the tea in front of him, sips it, and pays no attention to the two people who are attacked by the hurricane. Just at the moment when the sword was waved, a sharp light swept by. The sword stopped at 1 meter above Yunwu's head and could not move a point. Bang! The huge impact exploded in the inn. 2 figures with the shock wave, with a mess, instantly flew out of the inn. At the moment, all the people gathered in a safe corner. They all had martial arts skills. It was no problem to avoid the after effects of the attack. Besides, Yunwu controls the strength and won't hurt the innocent. Everyone looked as if nothing had happened, still sipping tea of cloud dance, fundus of surprise, instant surge. Who the hell is she? 2 people of Wuzuan level. Was it just like that? One side of the Shangguan, posture lazy still fill the stomach, eyes have been Piao cloud dance battle. See cloud dance didn't move, beat 2 people fly, mumble to say a few what, meaning probably is solved too fast, didn't see head. Long Qingxie then twists his fingers and flicks the dust on the white robe. He looks like he's calm and self-confident. His lips are full of evil. Chao Yun dances with a flattering eye. On the other hand, Jia Yunan, who had been hissing and howling in pain, saw this scene and was in a state of stupefaction. Looking at the 2 human shapes on the wall of the inn, his mouth was open in surprise. Yunwu glanced at Jia Yunan coldly, put the half-steamed bread left by Shangguan into his mouth, stood up and glanced at the leisurely 2 people. Let's go. Dragon tilts evil spirit to smile, tiny jaw head nods. Where to? Shangguan took a glance at Yunwu, and a trace of satisfaction passed by his eyes. Finally, he had enough to eat and drink. Delivery. Cloud dance is cold to hum a, the lip cape sneer raises, glanced at a superior officer one eye, the 2 guys outside give you. Why me? What does he do? The languid posture of Shangguan immediately subsided, and he stood up and pointed to the dragon and roared miserably. Cloud dance hears speech to slightly drop mouth to ponder, then in different way, which have bully own person. People fall to the ground, Shangguan mouth suddenly a draw, small 5, calculate you ruthless. Long Qingxie looks at Shangguan who has disappeared outside the human body wall. The smile under his eyes is as warm as spring flowers in March. Little thing, my husband is more and more satisfied with you. Deliver the goods. Cloud dancer will jiayu south to Long Qingxie, a turn disappeared in the indoor. Although across the veil, the flush on her cheek still couldn't escape the dragon's evil eyes. The corners of the lips are full of evil, the charming smile captures all living beings, and the evil face is perfectly outlined in the rising sun, dazzling like a god. This little thing. He dropped his eyes and murmured. 10 miles away from Qingqing town, Jia's house. What did you say? The young master has been beaten. A very angry low roar rang out. Back to the master it's. What are you doing back then? Jia Qingchun canthus a stare, fundus anger rub ran visible, don't go to the young master back, the man to me back. Yes. Don't bother. The young master has sent it back to you. Cold as Qingchuan's voice, a cool and handsome figure appeared in front of Jia Qingchun. When he saw the half-dead Jia Yunan in Yunwu's hand, the love in his eyes flashed into anger. Who the hell are you? Cloud Dance lips quietly micro-hook, eyes is a pair of very puzzled looking at Jia Qingchun, stretch out white fingers pointing to Jia Yunan. Don't you see that? Help me, benefactor. Dad, help me help me. Jia Qingchun smell speech, face red-green moment iron green, the first to put the children, what is a good discussion? Jia Yunan is the only route he has ever been looking forward to. If there's something wrong with him, he'll be out of business. Knowing that Yun Dance hasn't moved, he'll fight the two men who protect him. How can he be more cautious? Cloud Dance's mouth is slightly raised, the deep radiant is a little lazy, the eyes pass a cold light, let go of your baby son, what can I use as a bargaining chip to negotiate with you? It's not so much trouble. I want to find an old man with a scar on his face. If I find him, your son will have a lot of hair. If I can't find him. Cloud Dance glanced at Jia Yunan, who was led by wood elements. His eyes were bloodthirsty and cold, and he said, kill me. Jia Qingchuan's mouth trembled at the sound of his speech. And the two people on the side of Yunwu's body, who heard her words, had clear thin lips, and their eyes were all like watching a play. It seems that as long as they are not the enemy, and there are clouds dancing in the place, they can rest assured to make soy sauce. Dad, it's killing me. Please help me. Send out a notice for someone. In addition, 13 guards were sent to investigate in secret. Jia Qingchun iron black this old face, Canthus is trying to hide anger and killing. Then we'll leave first. Cloud Dance micro pursed lips once again raised, looking back at behind Jia Yu South, eyes cold, young master, set out. Send 13 guards to investigate secretly. Is it to find out their whereabouts and details? The clouds dance and the eyes are cold. Well, people are old and have a bad memory. They need to be reminded repeatedly. Wait a minute, I've promised you to find someone, but I won't let the baby go. Jia Qingchuan's canthus stare, and his killing intention looms. Cloud Dance lips cape outline, looking back coldly glanced at Jia Qingchun, I said you promised me to release people. When you find someone, your son is your son. You how dare you play with me, oh. Cloud Dance sneers, the corner of the mouth disdains to raise, do you deserve to let me play? I advise you to find someone quickly. Dad help. A sharp palm wind suddenly floated by, and Jia Yunan's slightly fat body slowly fell down. Annoying, you. Jia Qingchun looks at Jia Yunan, who can't get up. He takes a step forward. His face turns red and looks angry. Cloud Dance light glanced at Jia Qingchun, quiet way, don't worry, this is not without a sweat. Looking back at Shangguan again, he slightly raised his eyebrows towards Jia Yu South and motioned him to carry him on his back. Xiao Wu, you are biased too blatantly. If you know it's bias, why hide it? The Shangguan couldn't answer her question. The fateful man carried Jia Yunan on his back. He didn't forget to kick him and muttered, what's the point of eating less? What's the point of eating so much? Jia Qingchun looks at his embarrassed son being ravaged among the three people. His heart is full of blood, and his eyes are full of killing intention. Find out their details. No one can live except the young master. Yes. I don't know where, there are several voices, such as ghosts. Flying in the air on the back of Jinling, the eyes are cold, and the corners of the lips evoke a cold smile. Cloud Dance stooped to see a beautiful place, let Jinling down the sedan chair. I wanted to take a rest here and see the scenery as a tour, but I never thought that it was here that made her worship Qingqing town. It's a good place with beautiful scenery. Yunwu is lying on the stone beach, stretching his hands and feet comfortably. Xiao Wu, you are also a woman. Can you be more reserved? Shangguan looked at the cloud dancing in all directions. He couldn't help but start to think about it again. Then he looked at the dragon and said, "Ah, you have a unique vision." Long Qingxie walked to Yunwu like a leisurely court. He lay down beside her and looked at Yunwu with his arm in his arms. He said, "Little thing, I found out only when I met you that I like this type." Then close to her ear whisper, "No touch of small steamed bread flat body. Go to hell." Cloud dance angry a roar, push away the dragon of the top to pour evil. But I still couldn't help glancing at my chest. I had no choice but to pass by my eyes. It was really so small. It's true that the body only has the sense of bone, but it doesn't have the sense of hand. It's not easy to be so clear. I don't need to see it. Even if I don't grow up, I like it. The thin lips of the dragon's evil spirit spread with laughter. This little thing is so cute sometimes. Shangguan looked at the interaction between the two, with a smile on the corner of his mouth, hiding a bitter and meaningless smile. Suddenly, a strange phantom passed by. Do you feel comfortable watching other people flirt with each other? A touch of breath passed by Shangguan's ear. The next second, he retreated and opened the distance between them. However, the surprise in his eyes could not be hidden. When he can't see it, he comes to him in an instant. How deep is this man's strength? At this time, the cloud dance and dragon Qingxie also stood up and recovered their usual look. Who are you? Shangguan tilted his eyebrows, and his bohemian smile slightly folded. He's not human. The cold voice of cloud dance swept over everyone's ears, the corners of the mouth and the fundus of the eyes. He has the smell of vegetation, but there is no smell of human. With a ghostly smile, the man put his eyes on Yunwu, as if looking at him. No one can see my body at a glance. You are really amazing. Cloud dance lips a hook, a touch of mysterious evil smile looming. Looking at the person's eyes is more calculation. You appear here, is to do something. The man looked at Yunwu unkindly. I do not know why, the heart rose a sense of resistance and exclusion. It was like seeing a natural enemy. Give me that man. The man pointed to Jia Yunan, who was unconscious, and his eyes were cold. Cloud dance can also know from his eyes that he certainly didn't come to save Jia Yunan, and then with an indifferent smile, people are there, want to take it by themselves. When the man heard the words, the smell of plants and trees suddenly turned around and came close to the south of Jiayu. Hungling, stink, escort. Cloud dance releases Hungling and Xiao Chou in the contract space. Just when I saw Hungling and Xiaolukaku. The cloud dances Aleng, the fundus of the eye suddenly flashed, with a touch of amazement. These two little guys actually strength improved so much? The shape has changed, too. See, small stink that chubby silly Meng, like human non-human appearance, more and more like a person. The sharp tusks seemed to have converged. They were all dressed in red feathers. They were close to the body. Their big round eyes were even more vigorous. They looked like lovely children about 3 years old. As for the change of Hungling, it's not only not sprouting, but also more ferocious. In particular, the thick branches merge with the little red snake that never appeared. What's going on? Little red snake and Hungling merge into one. On a red flower, there is a red snake, which is the same as the complex of plants and animals. It's weird and ferocious, and it's dangerous. However, it's obvious that they are one. Before that, they just haven't matured. Now, this is the real Hungling. Yunwu is not surprised. It's absolutely fake, but this kind of evolution is really a little strange. Ah. Are you the summoner? After seeing the little stink, the man made a loud voice. In an instant, birds all around the jungle suddenly rose, like the roar of an earthquake, wave after wave, and it took a long time to stop. Cloud dance cold hums mysterious smile. Star Mao does not mean to look at that person, how? This guy is a wood element spirit beast in the form of a human. It happens that her wood space is still empty. She looks at the man with 4 words on her face. Welcome to stay, I won't do it. The man screamed repeatedly, retreated in horror, and disappeared for a moment. But in the next second, suddenly stop, looking at the body in front of the small stink and red Lycanthus a stare. Go away. Tell me to go away. How many heads have you got? Ma Smelly. Smelly heard the man's words and jumped to express dissatisfaction with the rain and fog. Cloud Dance micro frown, eye-ground flits past a put-on helpless look. Shangguan and Long Qingxia are at a loss. Maybe only Yunwu can understand the meaning of Xiaoqiu. I know it's smelly, but don't you solve it quickly? As soon as the star eyes in the field are cold, the color of majesty suddenly soars. Hongling Xiaoqiu shivered all over when he was threatened, but the man also twitched. Shit, when can I? Is this the majesty of the summoner? It feels terrible the next second. Hongling's small stink will go up together. Cloud Dance looks at the 3 guys intertwined together, drooping eyes and meditating for a moment, and then releases Lan Yu and Bai Shuer. I'm going to work for a master, so I have to face each other. All of a sudden, the 4 elements of wind, wood, water and fire were lifted up, and the whole forest was filled with a sense of oppression that had not been seen for a long time. Suddenly, the man's body shrinks and turns into a strange vine. The vine is surrounded by thorns. If he is not careful, it will be full of holes. The vine is like a snake, quick in movement and avant-garde in thought. The cloud dances the vermilion to stir up, a touch of elusive smile lifts. The man with a pair of 4, plus Hongling's small stink strength evolution, fight down naturally is not their opponent. Bang! A loud noise scattered on the ground, with rolling dust, hazy let everyone's line of sight. After the riot, there was silence like death. The rolling dust scattered in the air, and the sight was clear. I saw the vines on the ground constantly twisted, confused and struggling. Tut tut. Cloud dances to curl a mouth to shake head, a face pitifully looking at the vine. This can't get up. If I don't get up again, I'll force a contract. As soon as vines listen to it, time seems to be still for a moment, and the twisted body suddenly stretches, followed by the more crazy twist, like struggle, like resistance. The dust on the ground was struggling out of a hole by him. He is still in place. Why are you so unreasonable? Finally, Vine gave up the struggle, lying on the ground weak refutation. Around him were the 4 covetous guys, especially the blood pouring from Hongling. Yunwu is ashamed and frowning. The other party is the body of wood elements. After evolution, has this guy started to eat vegetarians? Then he put his eyes on the vine, and the corners of his lips were cold and gorgeous. It's unreasonable. What do you want? Well, unreasonable women are the worst. Vine cold hum disdain way. I'm used to it. Do you have a problem? Suddenly, Long Qingxia, who had never spoken, suddenly opened his mouth. He had a silver dagger in his hand, which was full of cold light. Your woman is not so good. Vina listened to, will despise of vision turn to Dragon Qing evil body. Go on, I'm listening. Dragon Qing evil corner of the mouth evil spirit Yang, enchantment of the golden eyes is smiling at the vine. Feng Han's dagger refracts through the sunlight, and the dazzling clear unshoots at Vine. Vine's twisted body is stiff again, and the words in her mouth swallow it back. Although the light was just a reflection, the Vine felt an extremely cold and piercing cold. Well? Why don't you go on? Dragon Qing evil sword eyebrows slightly pick, the corner of the lip evokes a wanton evil smile. Vine instantly collapsed in the dust, powerless twist a few body. The knife in your hand is shining. Who dares to speak? Because of the dialogue and atmosphere between one person and one tree, the air around became a little strange. It was depressed and gloomy. For a moment, the light of the silver dagger seemed to be dim. I won't play with you today. In the next second, the vine quickly got into the soil. The soil twisted a few times, and then there was no abnormality. Yunwu's eyes were cold, and he drew up a dragon. He launched a fierce attack, and directly lifted the soil that had disappeared from the vine more than half a meter high. In a moment, the dust was creeping, the gravel was rolling, and the roar continued. It's a pity that there's still the shadow of that guy, Vine Cloud Dance eyes micro mi, looking at the disappearance of the vine, the corner of the mouth cold bloodthirsty raised. And this is a cunning and weird guy. Run, even if you run to the ends of the earth, you can't escape the fate I arranged for you. Ma. Small Stink looked at the vine disappeared, some looked at the cloud, soft called seems to be testing. Cloud Dance glanced at him one eye, Mao Guang Emi, indifferent way, should roll back. Little Smelly saw that Yunwu was not angry, so he ran to Yunwu happily, Ma. At the moment when Xiao Smelly is about to touch Yunwu, Yunwu immediately takes him back into the contract space, and then there are the other three guys. Because people run away, Hongling seems a little depressed, as if something should not happen in his control, and Lan Yu's eyes are colder, and Bai Shuer's eyes are also colder. Cloud Dance's face is dim. Do these guys regard that guy as their enemy? That's not good. We have to work together peacefully in the future. Just when Yunwu plans to take back the three of them, a ragged old man quietly walks in front of them. The old man's pace is steady, his breath is even, he has a white hair appearance, but he doesn't have the slightest morbid and weak state. Cloud Dance tiny cu eyebrow, the eye-ground flits over a doubt, so under there several people's gaze left. Did he do it on purpose or on purpose? This person is definitely not simple. What do you do, old man? Although they are curious about the origin and identity of the old man, Yunwu and Longqingxi belong to the thinking, while Shengguan belongs to the mentality of, no brain, no brain. Although he is extremely intelligent, he is cynical and doesn't understand anything. This kind of person is often more terrible. Hearing the words, the old man stopped. His rickety back was stiff and he turned around slowly. Yunwu's eyes sank and his thoughts flashed by. Looking at his rickety back, he was really like a weak old man. But what about the facts? That pair of dark brown eyes, which had gone through the vicissitudes of life, were extremely powerful and full of spirit, without any vague and confused state at all. I'm just a copycat shop owner. How can I help you? The old man raised his eyes and glanced at Shengguan, but his eyes were on Yunwu in the next second. Imitation shop. Cloud Dance eyes mi, meditation for a moment. Qingqing town is the imitation of the city, finally came once, not see the knowledge really some disappointed. It's easy to go. Let's see the power of Qingqing town. Yunwu glanced at the old man with a cold smile. Long Qingxie smiles when he hears the words, and a trace of helplessness passes through his eyes. This little thing is really unreasonable. However, his women have unreasonable capital everywhere. Haha, it's not hard. The old man asked, open mouth laugh, momentum and the ricket's figure completely does not match. The next second, a scene suddenly appeared, which made Yunwu three people stay for a second at the same time. The stillness of death, the silence after a long time, only a few low steady deep breathing sound, constantly reverberating in the air. Ah, how did someone look as like as two peas? Dead space, Hongling opened the voice of roar instantly boiling space. Yes, as like as two peas in the same appearance as the red rhombus, they are just an imitation of the old man. This imitation ability is too bad, isn't it? Don't imitate each other's martial arts and thoughts. Cloud Dance is startled. If we can imitate these, isn't it a bit too terrible? The old man asked Yen with a smile. The Cloud Dance of smile made him feel numb at the bottom of his heart. Then he said, this, of course not. Yunwu's face suddenly changed, and his eyes were covered with frost. Isn't that as like as two peas? Boring. You can go. The Cloud dances to fold up the corner of the mouth, pure cold way. Haha, little girl, this imitation is as rare as a summoner. There are many interesting places for it. No interest. The Cloud dances and the corners of the mouth are cold. People who see it for the first time are surprised by it. You are a special exception. The old man suddenly laughs mysteriously. Touching the old man's eyes, Yunwoo frowned slightly and was about to leave. At this time, Jia Yunan moved low, as if he had woken up. Several people's eyes floated to Jiayu's south at the same time, including the old man. Jia Yunan stood up struggling, saw the indifferent Cloud dance at a glance, pointed to her and said, "You." "I." Cloud dance sneers, then looks at the finger pointing at her head in mid-air. "I don't like people pointing at me, which makes me mistake it for provocation." Jia Yunan's face changed in a moment, and he quickly took back his fingers. The remaining light from the corner of his eyes caught a glimpse of the old man not far away. The look in his eyes was suddenly happy. "Old man, help me." Cloud Dance's face is dark. Do they know each other? Or does the old man appear in front of them on purpose just for him? The corners of his lips are slightly outlined, and the cold radiance appears. It seems that the Jia family has some ability. Otherwise, how could everyone have the idea of this son? "Little girl, I'll take it away." As soon as the old man turned his hand, Jia Yunan had been brought to him. "Of course you can take it. It's up to you." Just when the old man brought Jia Yunan back to him, she acted fiercely. She could hardly see what happened at that moment. Not only she, but also Shangguan and Long Qingxie were stunned. "Old man, help me kill some of them. I'll ask my father to give you the secret of controlling power." Jia Yunan glared at Yunwoo with indignant eyes, hoping to tear her to pieces. Cloud Dance's secret of controlling power. Isn't that a very useful secret book? There was a bloodthirsty radiance in the corner of her mouth. Looking back, he glanced at Shangguan and Long Qingxie, with a smile. That smile was like a blooming ice-colored flower, for which the sun was pale. Shangguan and Long Qingxie look at Yunwoo's Jingmong and shake their heads one after another. How can they not understand her? I wonder if I can take him away. The old man looked at the Cloud Dance and continued to ask. Yunwoo frowned slightly, and a chill passed by her eyes. If you take Jia Yunan away and run directly, why don't you ask her so seriously? Is this a naked provocation? Cloud's slightly pursed lips alow, a pair of purple pupil eyes gradually red, around the spread of bloodthirsty cold. I'm very interested in his father's secret book of controlling power. Do you think you can take him away? Long Qingxie moves his eyes on Yunwoo to the old man. The corner of evil spirit's mouth is slightly heavy. He walks forward a few steps, just in front of Yunwoo. Yunwoo looked at the determined body in front of her eyes lowered, and her cold eyes became extremely complicated. Then she pulled off the robe of dragon's evil spirit. You are blocking my sunshine. Her strength is not small, but the Long Qingxie when Si did not move, charming smile eyes dote on a look at the body in front of the cloud. This little thing is always trying to be brave, ha ha ha, it's a warm picture, but no one has to rush forward, one by one. I have plenty of time, we don't have so much time. Who will come with you one by one? Three wipe cold proud voice drink together, in a moment three wipe phantoms swept out together, just like lightning. The old man looked at the illusion of the moment, the vicissitudes of life of the eyes of the moment a squint. Just that little girl, he felt some pressure. Now, with these two powerful people, it's not easy to deal with them. If you lose face, you'll lose your old life. With a strange hurricane left, Three Phantom has come to the old man's station. What a cunning old fox Cloud Dance cold eye son am I, looking at that wipe disappear of hurricane satirize way. As soon as they see that things are not good, they run away. It's really an educational lesson for their three younger generations. As soon as Jia Yunan saw the old man leave, his proud and disdainful eyes suddenly stagnated. Cloud Dance glanced at him one eye, Mao lights and cool, oneself walk or let him carry you to walk. Well, I won't let you three go. Jia Yu snorted, took out something from his sleeve and ran away. In an instant, the hurricane hit and rolled, and the gurgling water drew close to the south of Jia Yu, wrapping him in it. The cool and clear stream was like a huge whirlpool space, flying away in the air. What is that? Yunwoo looks at the silver pendant in Jia Yunan's hand, and his eyes are surprised. The pendant is like a drop of water, with the same color as the stream, silver light, as if gathering a huge spiritual power. That's a good thing. The clear voice faded out, and a purple figure had swept to the south of Jiayu. Then a strong dark force cut a hole in the whirlpool space, just as the purple figure swept into the hole. Bang! With the huge rebound force, the purple figure was launched like a missile, and disappeared. Then Shengguan's figure swept out with the cloud dance. Long Qingxie looks at the place where the clouds are disappearing. His golden eyes pass by a trace of helpless worry. Then he looks at the residual shadow of Shengguan. His lips are slightly hooked and dyed with a smile. The evil spirit is dangerous. In an instant, the white figure has blocked the left Jia Yunan, and the ape sweeps out, strongly attacking the stream space. Hit, bounce, after a long time. There was a change in the woods in the distance. Are you here? Long Qingxie's golden eyes narrowed, the tight lips slightly raised, and the glistening sweat on his forehead ran across his face, dripping on the sexy thin lips, full of enchantment. As the abnormal sound increased, the bright and blue sky gradually darkened, and the birds and animals fled and the insects swarmed all over the forest, like a very dangerous omen. Suddenly, a confused figure appeared. The purple robe was in tatters, and most of the body was covered with mud. Occasionally, there was a breeze, and there was a bad smell. Her bloodthirsty eyes are dyed red, and her body is emitting hot temperature, but it makes people feel extremely cold. It is surrounded by strange and dark haze, which makes people shy away. She looked at Jia Yunan in the air, her eyes set off Jia Yunan's figure. Her anger was more obvious and burning, as if she was going to scorch the figure. Thinking of the radish planted in the mud, which was finally pulled out by Shengguan, her anger could not stop. Give the water back to the mud. A roar of burning flame resounded, the trees around were shaken and trembled, and the trees just subsided were churning again. After Yunwoo left, Shengguan, who had been following her, appeared. Looking at the angry Yunwoo, the corners of his mouth twitched violently. He couldn't help but feel excited. This woman is terrible. Long Qingxie saw the embarrassed appearance of cloud dancing and mud all over his body. When he touched her, it was enough to burn his anger. There was a smile on the corner of his mouth and he stepped back. In this case, she will hurt the innocent. Relying on the strength of the stream, Jia Yunan has been entangled by dragon's evil spirits for a long time and has not been able to leave. Now there is a cloud dance full of rage and fighting power, and it is beginning to be a little invincible. Wow! The sound of a broken stream space. There was a dull impact on the surface of the earth. After the dust dispersed, Jia Yunan was in a coma in the pit. The cloud dances to attack the body and descend, looking at the Jiayu south in the big pit, taking advantage of the situation to make up a foot. This just feels to relieve qi, the anger in the eye gradually drops. This has the destructive power of fat body, which can't be underestimated. Shengguan looked at the muddy footprints on Jia Yunan's body, and the corner of his mouth drew. This woman Long Qingxie looks at the cloud dance, and his golden eyes smile. His breath has basically returned to normal. He glances at the pendant on the ground intentionally or unintentionally, and his eyes are dark with a touch of danger. Yunwoo picked up the silver pendant on the ground and looked at it carefully for a moment. After thinking for a moment, a sense of horror gradually rose in her eyes. This pendant has a special sense of water. Is it a natural thing? Cloud Dance cold glanced at Jia Yu South one eye. Just this guy is to use it to draw water, collect for already used, and the power is amazing. Although the speed of the blow that just hit her was a little slow, it was full of strength. I thought the boundary of space could isolate and stop the power, but it was rebounded by the soft force of the current. Although I was not injured, I was still flying. Otherwise, she would not be in a mess. It's a good thing. It'll be of great use in the future. The dragon tilts evil to raise the corner of mouth to sink away. Just keep it. She said the heart is not willing to, words have not finished, but things have entered the space. Shangguan secretly shook his head, but looked in another direction. Am I wrong? Cloud danced along the direction of the officer to see a coagulate one eye, the corner of the mouth bloodthirsty Yang. No mistake, it's him. You know it's him and you let him run? Shangguan slightly pick eyebrows, eyes are puzzled, looking at the cloud, with her and dragon evil now strength. Stop that old man absolutely no matter, how can let him run? Cloud dance mysteriously smiles and slightly picks Lu Mei at Shangguan. Do you believe he will turn to me? What did you do to him? Shangguan's face turned black and he looked at Yunwu with a mysterious smile. He felt very cold and could not help showing sympathy for the old man. To offend this woman, to live is to suffer. Cloud dance chuckles and doesn't answer. It touches the stench on the body and slightly frowns. In a moment, it disappears in the same place. The superior officer doesn't follow. It was Long Qingxie who impressed Yunwu, but he didn't follow this shameless guy. His behavior has changed suddenly. Can you believe it? Just as Yunwu was about to undress and take a bath, the ripples of the stream suddenly increased, and a white phantom came. Little thing, I'll help you. Cloud dance forehead black line rises, the facial expression schwa of dark come down, the wind element between the palm has already lifted. Sure enough, it's better to believe that pigs can climb trees than to believe that he will change. After Long Qingxie was sent away, Yunwu finally cleaned up the stench on his body. He raised his eyes slightly to see the clear air, and opened his lips slightly. Brother Shah, pack your bags and set out. A little gray in the air, the red clouds spread, the breeze blowing, with a hint of coolness. Jia House. In the quiet corridor, a dark figure appeared. Master, I didn't find the identities of the three of them. It seems that they have appeared frequently in recent days. Cool voice, cold as winter water. Where has the young master been taken? Jia Qingchuan's voice was much sharper because of his surprise. 13 Wei didn't find their details, which really surprised him. You know, the 13 guards are the best assassins who are good at tracking and investigating. Although they can't know everything about the upper world clearly, they know something about everything. People he can't even investigate. Who are the three of them? How could it be so weird and mysterious? On the way home. On the way home? Jia Qingchun frowned, some did not understand his words. The next second, his eyes suddenly widened and straightened. Looking at the more people in front of him, he was surprised and said, You. Hold in the mouth of the words, because surprised, just did not say it. Mayor, don't you welcome us? We are kind enough to give you our son. Cloud dance micro pick eyebrows, seems to Jia Qingchuan's attitude some sad, in this case, nothing to say. A turn, she's ready to leave. Wait. Jia Qingchuan's face was in a hurry, and the roaring voice stopped Yunwu's steps. Cloud dance stopped and looked back. So you welcome us? Jia Qingchun iron green of face, looking at some embarrassed Jia Yunan, that I bottom deep anger is full, but also can endure. Qingqing town says whether it's big or not, and whether it's small or not. The information about that person is so vague, how can it be found in only a few hours? Jia Qingchun thought that Yunwu came to exchange people, and he lowered his voice in anger. Cloud dance turns around, the corner of the mouth raises radiant, indifferent smile way. I also consider this point, no really not easy, so come to change a simple condition for you. This words, not only Jia Qingchuan's face changed a few changes, has been no sense of existence of the 13 Wei, no expression of the face of the moment also had a change. The condition is that if you want to change it, you can change it. Cloud dance seems to know what they are thinking, and the radiant of the corner of the mouth is deeper. Chips in hand, I have the conditions, change or not as high as she is not happy. Can't stand it? Then fight. As the saying goes, money is capricious, some people are more capricious. Are you playing with me? Jia Qingchuan's face is a little twisted and angry. He doesn't call himself old man anymore. He calls himself me directly. Who didn't know Jia Qingchuan's name in Qingqing town? Who didn't know there was such a mayor and such a bully? Although I can't bear to see it, I dare not speak in anger. The power of Jia family is the biggest in Qingqing town, and no one can find out the specific strength of Jia family. Jia Qingchun is also used to false flattery. Suddenly, a cloud dance who is not afraid of death openly provokes him and makes him unable to fight back. He can't swallow his old spirit. If it wasn't for the old sun, it wouldn't have been easy. I'm afraid Yunwu would have been hunted down for a long time, so what? Cloud dance light sneer, words disdain. You. Jia Qingchun was so angry that he couldn't say a word, choked by Yunwu. Shangguan secretly sighed, uninhibited eyes are helpless. Then he threw Jia Yunan on the ground and stretched his muscles, as if preparing for the battle. Jia Yunan bang landing, seems to be able to clearly hear Jia Qingchun heartache burst sound. Jia Qingchun looks at Jia Yunan and is distressed. Then he looks at Yunwu and his anger rises. What's the condition, say it. Looking at the fury of Jia Qingchun, I want to kill her immediately. Cloud Dance drooped her eyes and pondered for a moment. If you don't have Jia Yunan's chips in your hand the next second, if you want to go out, you'll have to wash Jia's house with blood. It's said that you have a secret book about controlling power. I'd like to borrow it. Jia Qingchun smells speech, facial expression instant gloomy go down. Who told you? Does anyone else know about it? Cloud Dance glances at Jia Qingchun. When he hears the secret script of manipulation, he looks so different. This secret script of manipulation power must be top grade, right? The corner of her lips is like a blooming snow lotus. Jia Qingchun thought for a while, the corner of his eyes twitched violently, and glanced at Jia Yunan intentionally or unintentionally. His anger gradually turned to extreme anger. There is no secret book in Jia's house. I'm afraid you made a mistake. When it comes to the end, in order to protect the secret script, Jia Qingchun has to die. It seems that his life is not worth as much as a broken book. Cloud Dance coldly a smile, lips cape light open indifference way, but if is my words, I will choose to hand in, at least that two still can keep one. She's going to decide the secret script. If you don't give it, grab it. If you don't get it, steal it. The result is the same whether you give it or not. Why don't you keep one first? Release the child first, I will give you the secret script, but whether you can have it or not depends on your own ability to get out of Jia's house. Jia Qingchun thought about it for a while, and finally decided to take a step back. Yunwu has a little helplessness in her eyes. In fact, she doesn't want to solve the problem so violently. But it must be a long process to find and steal the secret script. She still has some important things to do, so she can't waste her time on these things. Since he is willing to give it, she should get the secret script first, and then talk about the others. Think for a moment. I promise. You release the baby first, and I'll give you the secret script. The next second, Jia Qingchun palms suddenly out of a book, in cold eyes looking at Cloud Dance way. Cloud Dance Mao lights and cold, indifferent and dangerous glance at Jia Qingchun. What I don't like most is being calculated. I don't know if you can bear the consequences of calculating me. When she's stupid, right? Can he give her a secret script after releasing someone? People's minds are unpredictable, and the world is dangerous. People's words can only be heard as lies, and they can't be credulous. If you believe him, she is a complete fool. Suddenly, Yunwu felt that there was something abnormal around her. Her eyes were cold, but a sneer came out of the corner of her mouth. They seemed to be surrounded. Lift a mouth to sweep, this just discover, just now that white dark figure don't know when already left. Cloud Dance tiny squint eyes, eye-ground danger fleeting, under her eyelids sun walk. Is he good at martial arts, or is she careless? Exchange it. I've been aiming for my husband for a long time. Long Qingxia's golden eyes flashed, and he looked at the Cloud Dance. Cloud Dance glanced at Dragon Qing evil one eye, the corner of the mouth slightly yang. It seems that she was careless. The next second, a strong fighting attack, and the control of the secret book writing fighting moment to Cloud Dance. This blue hand is fierce and swift. It's the purpose to send books, but it's more exploratory. Cloud Dance takes over the control script, the fundus essence suddenly appears, quickly opens and reads several. One is to try the true and the false, and the other is to have fun. Just after watching for a while, the look of her eyes has changed dramatically. This secret book of controlling power is very useful for her now. Let's not mention the power of magic bite and Huichilin in her body. She doesn't dare to touch the good things in her space. It's natural that she can improve her strength. But the process must be worse than death. If not, life will be in danger. Now that she has the secret script of controlling power, she can try those good things one by one according to the records in the secret script. Good thing, really good thing. Jia Qingchun saw that Yunwu easily received the secret script, and a trace of surprise appeared in his eyes. Just then, he used 7 parts of his strength. The woman didn't dodge at all. She didn't see her hand, so she took the hand. Who the hell is she? Thank you for your generosity. Your precious son will give it back to you. In an instant, the hurricane started, and the cold and proud voice was gone. Jia Qingchuan's anger was as fierce as a wild animal. If you can't take their heads back, leave your heads behind. In a flash, the shadows around them were moving, like ghosts chasing the direction they left. At this time, Yunwu 3 people have arrived at the safe area, and they walk in the direction of Qingyong City. Xiao Wu, can we make less trouble? Shangguan's eyes drooped, and a helpless look swept by. Cloud Dance glanced at him and said, "Am I in trouble?" The haze rose on Shangguan's clear face. Is she in less trouble? No trouble, they can be chased and run. No trouble. What are they doing now? Can you get this secret script for one night? Shangguan wiped her one eye, to her completely don't feel more helpless. Cloud Dance hangs Mao a moment, then tiny jaw head, can get. Shangguan looked at the monster's sideways glance at the clouds, and for a long time he was discontented and said, why can you give people the chance to chase you? If you can take it openly and above board, why do you have to be furtive? The cloud danced coldly and arrogantly, glanced at the superior officer one eye, lips cape tiny sink. In fact, she wanted to say, why don't you pretend to be X? Shangguan sighed to himself. He finally understood one thing completely. When he was with her, it was a thrill to be chased or to die. This woman is born to be a troublemaker. Then he looked at Long Qingxie, who had been smiling and drooping his eyes, and said in his voice, do you think she's a troublemaker, too? Dragon Qing evil smell speech, the corner of the mouth inspection can't be observed of pull a while, the helpless inside the gold Mao appears for a moment, instantly disappear. Do you think I'm in trouble, too? Cloud Dance looked at Dragon Qing evil, lips slightly pursed, with a little woman's delicate, pathetic asked. At that moment, Shangguan looked at Yunwu's little woman's posture. He was tongue-tied for a long time. He kept brainwashing himself. It's dazzling, of course not. I think they are asking for trouble. Dragon Qing evil mouth slightly yang, doting on her forehead under a kiss. Cloud Dance smell speech, micro lift eyes to see Shangguan, face of delicate and pitiful moment completely without shadow, replaced by cold alienation. Shangguan, are you itching? Shangguan mouth a draw, eyes gloomy stare a Long Qing evil, this guy has no point bottom line? Long Qingxie didn't mind the murdering eyes. He was still calm and smiling. As long as his woman is happy, what's the bottom line? It's night, clear and cold, and the moonlight is hazy, covering the whole city of Qingyong. 3 white figures suddenly appear in the moonlight, the moment around the breath has become a little nervous. Should be coming soon. Cloud Dance raised eyes to see a clear miscanthus of the waning moon, the corner of the lip in the moonlight hook out a touch of enchanting radiant. Where are you going? Long Qingxie's hoarse voice was slightly cool. Cloud Dance micro frown, the bottom of the eyes swept a strange, appeared in his mind where to find Xiaomu this idea, she subconsciously had the answer. This strange feeling puzzled her. For Xiaomu, she always has a very strange and subtle feeling, unable to say whether she is an enemy or a friend. Go and wait there. Cloud Dance glanced at the broken temple in front of her, which was the answer in her subconscious mind. She also wanted to see if the answer in her subconscious mind was right. Dragon Qing evil smell speech, evil eye sun glanced at a broken temple, smile lips clip a trace of dangerous smell. How interesting. They have the same feeling. The three came together to the broken temple, which was extremely desolate. Apart from a Buddha statue, there were reeds everywhere and the wind was blowing everywhere. The dust on the ragged veil could be seen. Occasionally, a dark wind swept by, and the dust got into the mouth, smelling of mud. Friend, are you here? Just as the three of them inspected the broken temple, a strange voice with a little joy began to ring. The man quietly appeared behind them. Cloud Dance heard the sound of the same second, like an electric shock, all over the hair are erect. Looking back, it was Xiaomu. Barely hide the anger in the heart, indifferent way, I brought you, also should say I want to know. Xiaomu gave a strange smile, and his red eyes reflected the shadow of Cloud Dance, which was extremely gloomy and terrifying. Friends are great. Actually can let the calculation to that person, let him willingly all the way to track. Little girl, you are counting on me the next second, a hoarse and powerless but angry voice, extremely abrupt roared in. Under the beautiful moon. The cloud dances the corner of lip to lift a perfect radiant, lift mouth to see to break temple top, 3 days itch of effect how? You're the first user. Don't feel honored. Give me the antidote, I can't stand it for a second. The old man's voice trembled and instantly appeared beside Yunwu. Under the moonlight, we can clearly see the scratch marks on his neck, red marks, and some blood. The cloud dances, the corners of the mouth are slightly raised, but the bottom of the eye is the look of playful abuse. 3 days itch, as the name suggests, the middle person will itch all over for 3 days, and the last day is the most itchy, with the pain of thousands of mole ants. It can be said that it is the perfect combination of pain and itching, and finally died. She only got a little of it for one person. Now that it works so well, she thinks it's a little bad for him after tonight. The old man just itched for a day, so embarrassed, can imagine, the remaining 2 days will be how life is not like death. This is the antidote. You can't use your strength within 1 day after taking it. Otherwise, there is no medicine to cure and you will die of itching. Yunwu takes out a medicine bottle from the space and throws it to the old man. The old man doesn't look at it and swallows it quickly. At the moment when he looked up, the scar on the left side of his face was clearly revealed. Cloud Dance's eyes were dark, and he glanced at Xiaomu. Fortunately, after pestering with the old man for a long time, I saw the scar under his hair. Otherwise, I would miss it for nothing. You are so ruthless. You are more ruthless than this poison. After swallowing the antidote for a moment, the old man felt as if he was better. He bent down and looked at the Cloud Dance resentfully. The radiant of Cloud Dance's mouth was bloodthirsty, and he said coldly, if I'm not cruel, don't you pick up a big bargain for nothing? Since I'm ruthless, is this account settled together now? Hearing this, the old man suddenly changed his face, and then burst into laughter. Little girl, you are not my opponent. You seem to have forgotten what I said. Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrow, mouth corner a cold. The old man's smiling eyes froze for a moment. He couldn't use his strength in a day. Whether it was true or not, he had to listen. He didn't want to experience that kind of torture. Friend, now that you have found someone, come with me and I'll tell you everything you can know. Xiaomu's eyes were strange and his voice seemed much colder than usual. In a word, looking back is not only the Cloud Dance, but also the old man with bent body. Looking at Xiaomu, the old man was surprised. His white eyebrows were tightly wrinkled together. He has been worrying with Yunwu, and he just noticed Xiaomu's existence. How can he be here? And Xiaomu also looked at the old man. Puyu's mouth slightly wriggled, smiling. Long time no see, old friend. You're not a ghost, what can I do for you? I'll talk about my old friend later. Let's go, friend. Xiaomu looks at Xiang Yun and dances. Cloud dance eyes a collect, then lift eyes to see to dragon poor evil, help me to look after this old man, come back to him to settle accounts later. Dragon Qing evil mouth slightly yang, magnetic voice from the throat low and out, for husband only help you see for a while. Cloud dance micro frown nod, followed by Xiaomu out of the broken temple. She knew that she had to come back as soon as possible. If she didn't show up after a while, this guy couldn't do anything. Night, this moment seems to be a lot of dark clouds cover up the brightness of the waning moon, dark as ink under the night, can only vaguely hear the sound of two people breathing. Go ahead. The clear voice cut through the dark night. My friend, the main culprit of the destruction of the witch clan is the Beast Gate, and the person you should deal with can only be it, so it's also your only way to find the 5 elements. The cloud dances to smell speech star Mao 1mi, the figure completely conceals in the night. Knowing that she was a witch saint, the Beast Gate would not let her go. She thought that the destruction of the witch clan was the ghost of the Beast Gate, but this idea was overthrown in the human world. Although the Beast Gate in the human world is the best in the human world and has the help of the dark department of the sorcery, it is not so easy to destroy the whole sorcery. The original idea is right, just wrong. Ink night ice this piece. Where will 5 stars be? Cloud Dance has never understood what the ubiquitous 5-star club is, or is it an organization? Is it the same school as the Beast sect? But she always faintly felt that 5 stars would be no less powerful than 10,000 beasts. Where is the light of the upper world? If there is the darkest place in the upper world, it is the purest place. After that, those quiet red eyes suddenly surge, the fundus of the eyes seems to have a stream of blood constantly disappearing, rebirth, extremely strange and gloomy. Yunwu was surprised. He half dropped his eyes and glanced at Xiaomu's strange red eyes. He seemed to have a strong dislike for the 5-star club. Is his goal the 5-star club? Then why has she been guiding her into the gate of beasts? Will the 5 stars be the brightest place? Think about what the 5 stars will do. Is it bright and pure? Things seem to be getting more and more interesting, my friend. The Beast Gate has been looking for you. As for the reason, I think my friend knows that it's interesting to have such a loyal dog with you all day long. Xiaomu's red eyes were strange, with a smile of blood. Cloud Dance laughs, lip gently pull. Maybe I only know one, I don't know the other. Can you tell me what the other is? In addition to being a witch saint, the most important reason is the temple map on her. Temple map, who doesn't want to get it? But just these 2 reasons are so crazy to her, always feel that some too much attention. To put it simply, she is just a woman. I don't know why, she always felt that the Beast Gate was afraid of something, but what was she afraid of? Are you afraid of her? Oh, she didn't even believe the answer. Friend, you already know what you should know. If you don't want to be hunted down all your life, and if you don't want to lose your family, love and friends somehow one day, you can only destroy the Beast Gate. Xiaomu, a strange smile, seems to have known the answer of Cloud Dance. Cloud Dance looks at Xiaomu, the star eye is slightly cold, and a sharp edge passes between the eyebrows. Listen to him, it seems that killing the Beast Gate is really what she should do. Even if it's not for the witch clan, she should also think about her future life. If one day she's 78, and another wave of 10,000 beast grandchildren come to kill her, can she still escape? Well, it seems that the information I get is of little value. The Cloud dances coldly. She always does things according to her own mind. Moreover, it's still too early to deal with the Beast Gate with her current strength. Friend, I'll help you. Xiaomu understood her situation and was extremely positive. I wish I would never see you again. The distant cold voice scattered in the night, the lonely and cold figure appeared in the broken temple. Xiaomu opened his mouth with a smile, and his red eyes showed a strange brilliance. It's predestined, friend. You can't escape. Yunwu returns to the broken temple and looks at Shengwenlong. The three turn to leave the broken temple and pass by Xiaomu. Cloud Dance completely ignores him to leave. Long Qingxia's slightly deep meaning of coagulate Xiao would one eye, leave the broken temple of a moment, lips lift a touch of dangerous bloodthirsty smile. What? I'm always on my own. No one wants me to help you. The three people flying in the air heard the roar of the old man clearly even though the hurricane was blowing in their ears. Is Xiaomu looking for him to help? The cloud dances, the eye color one dark, ponders. Xiaomu, who are you? The hurricane is cool, blowing clouds and dancing 3,000 green silk, and the purple clothes pull out strong and perfect radiance in the wind, adding a touch of color to the clear night. Three people lie on Jinling's back together, breathing the natural flavor. Yunwu closed her eyes and breathed a sigh of relief. It's good not to live in an inn. It's better to control on Jinling's back and sleep in nature for a night. Fortunately, Jinling didn't know about this idea, otherwise he would destroy himself immediately. Even if you fall all over the floor looking for teeth, it's better than flying all night every day the next day. Yunwu three people changed their appearance and came to an inn. They planned to stay first and inquire about the current situation. No matter it is the Beast Gate, the 5-Star Club or Jiaqing Chun, they must be looking for the three of them crazily at this time. You stay at the inn and get some information. I'll go out and have a look. Yunwu sat on the table and looked at the sparse people in the inn. He felt that he would not get any useful information if he waited any longer. I'll go with you. Long Qingxia put down the elegant teacup way. Cloud Dance immediately shook his head. No, I'll go to have a look and come back in an hour. She has intuition. If she takes this guy with her, it will be a two-person world. If she takes this guy, she must be alert. It only takes 7 points of energy to deal with others, or don't let yourself live so tired. Long Qingxia looked at her tangled eyebrows, slightly crooked mouth, and then slightly jaw-head, with the heart and love for her husband, go early and return early. Oh. Shangguan was stunned, half-bent and wretched. Cloud Dance coldly glanced at the Shangguan one eye, the eye ground flitted a trace of cold helplessness, then looked at the dragon to pour evil. Can you discuss a little more? It's cold today. I'll give my heart to you for my husband. If you take it with you, it must be warm. Suddenly, in front of me, a remnant passed by, where there was Cloud Dancing figure. With a smile of dragon's evil spirit, the ugly mask of human skin can't stop the monstrous face, just like a carved face. Little thing, I haven't finished yet. He shook his head helplessly, as if whispering to himself. Boss, a bucket. Yunwu naturally walks in the crowd, and no one looks at her more, because she looks too ordinary and has no sense of existence. Gradually, she found out that in the city of Qingyong, only the Thunder Gate was the one who secretly searched for their information. Yunwu gathers her eyes. Liao Zongtian has been sending people to investigate her whereabouts secretly. It's obvious that he doesn't feel sorry for the more than 10 pills she stole. He must have been influenced by Wan's human, including Jinyu's exposing Yinbang and abducting her. Indirectly, it's because of Wan's human. While no one is following us now, let's go. It must not be discovered. Spirit around the tour of the Cloud Dance, very clear to hear the two words. What's so mysterious? Cloud Dance looks down at the two furtive people secretly, thinking that they can't get involved anymore, but their limbs are not controlled by their brains. Finally, she followed them to a jungle. Before entering the jungle, she went through 3 fences and a jungle formation. The jungle was formed naturally. How could anyone protect it with fences and formations? The cloud dances, the fine on of the eye ground passes by. Is there really something good in it? Oh. Suddenly, a beast roared through the sky and started to howl, intending to dance in the clouds. Cloud Dance Tiny Aleng, ponder a moment, the expression of the fundus of the eye suddenly a change. It's a spirit beast. This is as like as 2 peas of the beast, the same as the roaring of the 2 animals that she killed at the time. With a powerful burst of spiritual power. Make a quick decision, take the elixir and withdraw quickly. Good. 2 men who belong to the early period of Wuzuan, 2 quick phantoms, have disappeared in the jungle. Cloud Dance looking at the direction of men disappear, star eyes micro pick, they are for the elixir. She thought for a moment that the last elixir had been given to Zhou Feiyu. She expected to make friends with the herd by using the elixir. Without the elixir, it would not be possible. Now that we are here, let's get some more elixirs by the way. One spirit beast is already so fierce. I really look forward to the fighting power of a group of spirit beasts. If it can still be used by her, it will be better. After thinking about it, the purple shadow lingered for a moment and disappeared completely in the blink of an eye. The wind element, the master of Cloud Dance, follows the roar of the spirit beast just now, but he is shocked by the scene in front of him. There is little fear in the star eyes for a long time. 2 spirit beasts are swallowing their prey, the prey was eaten only 2 heads. It's just the 2 men. Just for a while, the 2 Wuzans were killed in their early strength. She didn't seem to feel any fighting breath. When she looked around, there were no fighting traces except 2 traces of fighting spirit. These 2 men were killed with only 1 slap. What a terrible force. Cloud Dance steps, but stepped on a hard thing, drooping eyes to see, a bloody arm is at her feet, arm is still soft, step on still have some strength. The frightful color in her cold eyes had not retreated. She could clearly feel the power of the 2 spirit beasts, which was irresistible to her. Let Wuzong later she, irresistible power. Now she knows that the array and border outside the jungle are used to imprison spirit beasts, and these spirit beasts are basically invincible enemies. Compared with these 2 spirit beasts, the 2 spirit beasts she met were just pets. Oh. Suddenly, one of the spirit beasts seemed to find Yunwu, and his red eyes were staring at the hidden direction of Yunwu. Cloud Dance heart trembles, this is the end. As soon as the purple figure is swept, it appears in front of 2 spirit beasts. Now that it has been found, it doesn't make any difference whether it is hidden or not. The 2 spirit beasts immediately took on fighting form and gathered together. It seems that they should cooperate together and have a good tacit understanding. The scarlet mouth of the spirit beast is dripping with blood, 2 tusks are left with traces of flesh and blood, and a pair of eyes reflect the figure of Cloud Dance, which reveals these 2 words, want to eat. 1 man and 2 beasts deadlocked and looked at each other for a while. One of the spirit beasts finally couldn't help it, and the saliva flowed down Yunwu's face turned black. It's a hopeless thing. Is it true that Zhu Beiji's daughter-in-law didn't have so much money? Seeing that the 2 spirit beasts didn't attack her like those 2 people, it should be because her martial arts made them feel oppressed, so they didn't dare to act rashly. Cloud Dance eyes am I, cold way, want to eat me? 2 spirit beasts looked at her, nothing happened. Just in time, I want your Naiden, too. How do you do it? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrow, ask away. The spirit beast is still quiet, still looking at her. You can't talk. The Cloud Dances the eye ground to flit over to put on a doubt, seem to vaguely understand there too at this time of reaction. Still not moving Cloud Dance eyes color a cold, heart scold 1,000 times your uncle, suddenly feel a little silly. Also want to use language to communicate with them, casting pearls before swine. However, it's strange that the spirit beast in the ancient town is inferior to them. They already know the language of human beings. Why don't they too? Is it because I've been trapped here for a long time and haven't touched human beings, so I can't speak? This is also a justifiable reason. But this is tragic for her. Although they have fighting wisdom, they have no communication skills. They plan to communicate with each other in language to win by wisdom, but now they are all in vain. In the next second, 2 powerful brushes came, Cloud Dancing figure twisted, phantom remained, and sidestepped to avoid a fierce blow. Bang! After the spirit beast fell to the ground, a burst of dust suddenly stirred up, just like 1,000 layers of waves, flying and flowing. After being hazy and clear, there were 2 big pits under the spirit beast. What amazing power! Cloud Dance's eyes are cold. In his hand, he holds a big black flame knife, twining the burning heat of the burning unicorn. The flame is burning, splashing out a strong wave of power. All of a sudden, the spirit beast turns around fiercely, and a force that has no parry power suddenly strikes. The power that the black flame sword attacks and infects is like Gossamer's power. Although only for a moment, but enough. Pa! There was a loud noise of oppression. Purple figure suddenly fierce retreat, bushy jungle, confused, purple figure embarrassed impact on the bush, constantly retreat. Suddenly, the shadow of Huichilin appeared on Yunwu's chest. She felt that there was a lot of power in her body. Even her uncontrollable body stopped now. Cloud Dance half kneels on the ground, purple robe has been in tatters, green silk spread, the whole body is full of a hot red light, purple pupil eyes seem to be burning up. The whole person exudes the heat that is hard to get close to, but with the cold that can't be ignored. Perfect combination of contradictions. The spirit beast looked at the Cloud Dance standing up, and unconsciously stepped back. A drop of cold sweat flowed over his ferocious head, and his eyes were afraid. Unicorn is the natural enemy of the spirit beast. Although Yunwu doesn't know this, it doesn't seem that it's different now. Cloud Dance pulled a coquettish and bloodthirsty sneer, step by step into the spirit beast. Is it you hand in the elixir, or do I take it out? Although spirit beasts can't speak and haven't been in touch with humans, Duo Sha can understand what Yunwu is saying. Hearing her words, the 2 spirit beasts stepped back again, and their pace began to be a little unsteady. Their eyes were afraid when they looked at Huichilin, but they were afraid when they looked at Yunwu. In any case, a person who can control the unicorn is far more terrible than the unicorn itself. Girl, how did you provoke the spirit beast? It seems that Bai Lao, who has been sleeping for a long time, suddenly wakes up and some hoarse voices come into Yunwu's mind. Cloud Dance hears Bai Lao's words, the fundus of the eye is surprised, the light is fleeting. Bai Lao, you wake up at last. Then, Cloud Dance and mouth bloodthirsty slightly young, take its elixir. Bai Lao was silent for a long time, but he worried, girl, leave quickly. This spirit beast has companions. Even if you kill them, you can't deal with the rest spirit beasts. Cloud Dancing scarlet eyes swept a deep, there are companions. Is this a group of spirit beasts in the jungle? And the 2 of them just forage together? I'd like to leave. Do you think they'll let me leave? Cloud Dance looks at those 2 spirit beasts, the eye ground clear on flits by. Although they were afraid of Yunwu, they didn't mean to leave or run away. Obviously, they didn't want to let her go for nothing. Bai Lao sighed, and then suddenly felt the scorching heat from Yunwu's body. Li Mao was slightly surprised. Girl, what is that in your body? Hoarse old voice rings again. Bai Lao felt the powerful power of Huichilin in Yunwu. He was very surprised. The power was not possessed by magic, but her new power. Cloud Dance slightly drooped eyes, glanced at his chest and said calmly, Fire Unicorn. You ate the Millennium Golden Unicorn? And absorb all the strength? White old startled, voice suddenly sharp many. The Millennium Unicorn fruit is hard to find for thousands of years. She has absorbed all its strength and condensed into a fire unicorn. This even 1,000 years ago, I'm afraid no one was able to absorb all of them and condense them. What's the matter with this girl? She's full of surprises. Yunwu stops and plans to chat with Bai Lao. I was hungry by accident. I ate unicorn fruit to satisfy my hunger, so I gathered fire unicorn by accident. Cloud Dance micro pick eyebrow, words seem to be quite helpless. She was just hungry. Seeing that it had both spiritual power and food, she ate it. Who knows that when a blind cat meets a dead mouse and makes such a strong unicorn in her body, she also refuses. Okay, you have reached the late period of Wuzong. Bai Lao then more surprised voice, once again raised a few decibels. Cloud Dance's eyes swept a trace of helplessness, now is in the upper bound, how can we survive without strength? In fact, what she wants to say is that there are too many good things in the upper world. It's much faster to improve strength than in the human world, but it's also much more dangerous than in the human world. You said you came to the upper boundary? The voice of Bai Lao's surprise once again permeated his mind, but the words were full of flavor. You don't have to worry so much. I probably know about the witch clan. I'll deal with the rest myself. She knew that while Bai wanted her to investigate the witch clan, he didn't want her to be in danger, but now she had a reason to fight. In order to stop being chased and killed, in order not to let danger ambush everywhere, she has to fight. The first goal is the Beast Gate. Girl, don't force yourself. Oh, do you think I will force myself? At the end of the speech, the powerful power of Guwu de Geo was thrown out in an instant and directly attacked the two spirit beasts. The two beasts leaped cleverly, dodged a blow, changed their direction instantly, and fought back to the cloud with anger. Bang! There was a loud roar. Yunwu's broadsword directly cut off the two spirit beasts. The power of Moyan and Huaqilin combined, and a strange light suddenly appeared, directly flying the spirit beasts for tens of meters. Oh! The spirit beast rolled to the ground and let out a groan of pain. After pulling out the painful struggle, he never got up again. Cloud Dance lips cape Tiny Yang, sneer to raise, you two of inside Dan I accept. She walked to the spirit beast step by step like death. She tripped over a leg and almost fell down on the way. It's the leg of the man who was just killed. Cloud Dance endure nausea, clear eyes again to see the spirit beast, the corner of the lip blooming radiant like an ice lotus. Blood, attacked and died the black flame dagger, and the slender jade finger was dripping with blood. The two elixirs were like two glazed eggs, wrapped with blood, and spread out in her hands. Yunwu receives the elixir into the space and plans to turn around and leave. This is the residence of the spirit beast group. If the companion is killed, it will certainly cause the attack of the beast group. If you don't walk, you won't be able to run. The cloud dances to attack to die the wind element to intend to leave, but put away the wind element in the next second. The radiant of her mouth was stiff for a moment, and her eyes were cold. It seems that this time is really over. In the front of the jungle, she saw dozens of pairs of scarlet eyes, all eyes staring at her, holding the beast cannot be ignored, is approaching. It's the herd. Yunwu's mouth suddenly drew. When did she lose her luck, girl? How can you get into some useless trouble? Bai Lao feels the pressure from the herd, and a trace of worry passes through his eyes. He says helplessly. Although these spirit beasts can't speak, they breed human wisdom. With their own spirit power, a few of these girls can deal with them, but the herd of more than a dozen spirit beasts is really not easy to deal with. This girl is still making trouble everywhere. Cloud Dance slightly frown, face schwa of a black, why everyone said she was in trouble. If she wants to get the elixir, it's still to control the spirit beast. You know, how can she deal with the big forces such as the 5-star club of the 10,000 Beast Gate? Is it hard to get rid of every time you can't? That's too bad, Bai Lao, is there any way to deal with them? The cloud dances, the eyes are cold, and the willow eyebrows are slightly frowning. She could feel the force from the herd approaching, and the total force was definitely above her. Bai Lao was silent for a while, but he said, you can get into the herd if you have the elixir, but now you can choose to fight or run, but even if you run, it's hard to escape. Cloud Dance's eyes flashed a sad reminder. The herd almost watched their companion get the elixir. How could they let her in because of the elixir? Looking up at the sky, the fundus is very complicated. Wheezing. The fierce hurricane smashed all obstacles and came straight across the cloud. At the moment when the cloud dances and eyes drop, the phantom of the spirit beast is already slightly in front of the body. The phantom of the black flame dagger is countless and constantly rotating, gathering the wind around, and the vortex is getting bigger and bigger. Bang! The two collided and roared. The powerful force suddenly hit the ground and scattered. In the blink of an eye, it has spread for tens of meters. Looking around, the round shrubs have been broken by the hurricane just now, and they are floating away like powder. And Cloud Dance is also affected by the power, although barely stay in the same place, but because of resisting the power, the breath in the body is constantly churning. Now the Cloud Dance is a little afraid. The magic power in her body has not been very stable. Every time she gets a huge impact, she will feel uneasy. In the end, she will suffer from the pain. Now she, even if want to fight hard once is also very difficult, at least to ensure that they can't let what huge impact. Girl, you haven't completely controlled the magic bite. You can't be impacted anymore. Otherwise, you can't bear the power of the magic bite's counterattack. Hearing Bai Lao's words, Yunwu's eyes were cold. How could she not know the feeling that she was about to explode? It's not like she didn't feel it just because I know, I'm afraid. That feeling is really helpless. More than a dozen spirit beasts on the opposite side have scattered around, surrounded the Cloud Dance in the middle, and all of them are greedy with their tusks. They want to eat her immediately. The Cloud dances and frowns slightly. The spirit beast's speed is very fast. Although Jin Ling's speed is above them, there are boundaries and arrays outside the jungle. The stagnant Kung Fu spirit beast will catch up with them. Suddenly, that pair of evil purple eyes emerge, a trace of spirit on, the corner of the mouth raises a smile. How can she forget that good thing? The next second, Yunwu takes out a pendant from the space, which is the water drop pendant from Jia Yunan. The pendant can make the water nearby urgent. The bush is so lush that you can hear the sound of the waterfall. There must be a big flow of water. Cloud Dance uses its power to urge the pendant, and suddenly the whole jungle rumbles like an earthquake precursor. The more than a dozen spirit beasts who have been staring at the clouds all the time are slightly shaken by the roaring sound of the earth's surface, and the sharp eyes of the beast are a little scared. Yunwu can almost smell the smell of water. In the next second, it is like the whirlpool of huge waves falling from the sky, directly wrapping Yunwu. Under the white-blue sky, the water is shining with dazzling light, setting off the spots and crevices of towering trees. It is bright and dark, like a long sword with clear edges. The road it passes through is completely flattened. Yunwu's heart was shocked, and his eyes were shocked. Now the whirlpool looks like a harvester, where it falls down in the blink of an eye. Yunwu was surprised. She was already in the whirlpool. The whirlpool is more than 10 meters long. A dozen spirit beasts scattered around Yunwu are rolled in by the whirlpool. The next second, a strange scene makes Yunwu's eyes squint. The spirit beasts were rolled around the vortex, and the vortex, like a blade, directly cut more than 10 spirit beasts into pieces, whining constantly, blood splashing in the vortex, expanding and blooming. It's like a blood-colored flower blooming in the water, with a bloody taste. And she was in the whirlpool, and nothing happened the last time I grabbed Jiayu South. The power of the water whirlpool made her skin ache, but it was far less powerful than now. Spirit Beast's skin is the most solid protective cover. It's so easy to be peeled. Is this vortex increasing with the power of users? Jia Yunan doesn't have any martial arts skills at all. He dominates by Jia Qingchun. So the whirlpool power he used was destroyed by her, and she was the strength of the later period of Wuzong, so even the ferocious spirit beast had no power to resist? Oh, it's a shocking potential power. Girl, you. Bai Lao's hoarse voice came again. From the beginning, when he saw the water whirlpool, the surprise in his eyes never stopped. Now after a long time, the shocked words were incomplete. Cloud Dance micro frown. You sleep too long, speak not agile. For Bai Lao's stammer, Yunwu just shook her head in doubt. How could she know how terrible the power hidden in this unintentional thing? How can you let the power of nature exert so much power? Looking at the power of the whirlpool, Bai Lao was shocked and then pondered endlessly. There is no extraordinary luck. Who can easily get the key to start the power of nature? If ordinary people use the power of nature, the power can be comparable to that of a powerful person. However, it is even more difficult for a strong person to achieve the power of nature above Wuzong. I'm afraid 1 in 100,000 people is also a miracle. And the force of nature controlled by this girl has surpassed her own Wuzong class. It seems that the power is still breaking through, beyond the scope of his perception. The key to the 4 forces of nature was destroyed thousands of years ago. It was predicted that the key would heal automatically after thousands of years, but it would not appear again. How could the key of water force suddenly appear? The power of nature. The cloud dances, the contemplation passes by, and the willow eyebrows frown slightly. Is the pendant the key to the power of water? Is there any other force of nature? Since there is the power of water, there must be other natural forces. Girl, it has been a miracle for thousands of years to get the power of water. If the key of the power of nature is so easy to get, is there any law in the world to follow? There is something delicious in Bai Lao's words. The girl's luck is too good. Is it? Cloud Dance lips a hook, revealing a mysterious smile. You know, how careless she was to get the pendant, but now that she knows the purpose and secret of the pendant, she will know how dangerous she is now. How could Jia Qingchun let her go after losing such a good thing? Bang! In the mid-air of the jungle, a flash of huge thunder split the sky, carrying out the whole cloud sky. Cloud Dance raised her eyes and looked at the suddenly darkened cloud sky. A touch of surprise passed by the bottom of her eyes. Suddenly, the sky was covered with dark clouds, and the whole sky was like a dark night. With the continuous flash of thunder, only the lonely and strong silver in the dark sky suddenly appears, with the burst of erosion. What the hell? Looking at the strange changes in the air, the cold light in Cloud Dancing eyes is more and more dignified. The next second, that pair of purple eyes suddenly raised to look at the top of the head, a flash of stunned, a strong silver reflected in the eyes, constantly spread, boom. After a loud roar, I vaguely heard the sound of the waterfall pouring out again. In an instant, the mountain and river recovered excellently, the invasion of darkness disappeared in an instant, and the sky was calm again. Long Qingxie, who is in the inn, looks at this strange scene, and the look in his golden eyes is dim. More than an hour, enough time. Enough for her to cause such a big thing. Golden eyes slightly lift, white shadow instantly disappeared in the inn, still in a state of surprise Shengguan take back his eyes, followed by Dragon Qingxie swept out of the inn. In the sonorous and roaring jungle, this moment is eerie and quiet. On the ground are the remains of more than a dozen spirit beasts, which have been charred by the huge thunder just now, and have completely become a pool of black charcoal. In the middle of the remains of the spirit beast, there is a crack. The crack is not deep enough to see the bottom. It is as wide as one person. At the edge of the crack, you can clearly see a downward sliding fingerprint. It's like someone who wants to come up and slip down. Boom! There was a roar of vibration from the ground. The crack began to get closer and closer, and finally it completely coincided with each other. It seemed that nothing had happened on the surface of the earth. The only thing that could prove the attack here was this mess and more than a dozen wrecks. At the border in the distance, a white phantom came like a hurricane. In the tens of meters opposite him, 5 spirit beasts came after hearing the sound. The evil figure of the dragon has stopped, and the dangerous breath in the golden eyes is faintly scattered. Looking at the 5 spirit beasts in front of us, the killing intention is everywhere. He put something on Yunwu. If he felt that she was in danger, it could guide him to find her, but he found that he could never find her again. Looking around, except for a messy battle trace, I didn't find her. Why does guidance stop here? Looking at the charred remains of the spirit beast around him, his eyes flashed a dark shadow. Long Qingxie droops his eyes slightly, and his tight lips are full of danger. Somehow, he always feels that the place under him is strange, but he can't see anything unusual. Oh! The spirit beast stares at the dragon and gives out a howl. It's enough to stuff your teeth. Ouch. Kill our companion and eat him alive. In the jungle, the howling frequency, each sound is extremely frightening. Dragon tilts evil lips cape to draw up one to wipe almost bloodthirsty outline, evil spirit danger, know where she is? Ouch. The spirit beasts howled together again. Since I don't know, I'll bury her missing. Ian Han's voice is like walking on thin ice, chilly, and the temperature around seems to drop suddenly. Powerful épée in hand, instant volleying rotation, swept the dark haze, mirage countless, but so real. He is walking like a leisurely court, walking step by step to the spirit beast. His white figure is hidden in the dark haze, and seems to have been infected by a trace, and exudes the ghost-like shrouding. The evil face is still the same as before, but the smile of evil lips is extremely dangerous and bloodthirsty, and the golden eyes are also full of strange light at the moment. If you can't find her, all the living things here will be buried with you. Épée Mirage Shuttle was repeatedly beat back by the powerful spiritual power, wave after wave to attack again, a steady stream. Finally, the blood attacked the bush, and under the dark haze, it was a painful and twisted figure. Long Qingxie stood in the haze, and the pale face and blood stains on his body were particularly eye-catching in the haze. From the beginning to the end of the scene, Shangguan could see the dark and strange dragon, and his handsome eyes passed a rare shade. He has the same dark power as Xiao Wu. It's so weird. Is this still him? In a flash, the black haze disappeared, leaving only a white figure standing in front of the spirit beast's body. Dragon Qing evil eye color hair dark, very few frown. She is here, why can't she feel a breath? Why not feel it? Why? There was a trace of confusion in his deep eyes. He closed his eyes slightly and tried to calm down his restless thoughts. Similarly, Shangguan tirelessly shuttled through the jungle, trying to find her breath. Her robe was scratched by the bush, and most of the jungle had no breath of her. Uninhibited eyes full of worry and doubt, Shangguan shook his head slightly, he never believed that Yunwu would be dead. Xiao Wu, do you really? It's impossible. She's always so lucky. How could it be like this? The jungle is quiet as usual. Dragon Qingxie drags his weak body and looks at the 5 spirit beasts beside him. He takes down their elixir and disappears in the jungle. Shangguan looked at the figure of Dragon Qingxie, his eyes were cold. Did he just give up? The night sky is as clear and bright as usual, but it is much colder than before. Are you really not going? Shangguan glanced at Long Qingxi, his eyes were very cold. Long Qingxie was sitting on the stone bench with a pot of wine in his hand. His eyes were very calm, and the calm was unpredictable. Hearing Shangguan's words, he suddenly drank a mouthful of wine, which was strong enough to enter the lung. It was a little hot, but it was far less than the heart beating hot for Yunwu. But now it has stopped cold. He suddenly got up and shook his head for a long time. As soon as the white confused phantom appeared, he swept away into the night. Damn it! With a roar of anger, Shangguan went to the jungle again, and the night became calm again. Long Qingxie looks at the figure of Shangguan leaving. His golden eyes are dark and his lips are tight. Small things, what you want to do, even if you are heartbroken, I will help you finish it for my husband. The next day. At the beginning of the morning, the gate fell into a repressive atmosphere. Did you find anyone? Not yet. Waste. No matter dead or alive, find her for me. Liao Zongtian's roar is terrifying, scaring away a large group of birds coming out to look for food. Master, she fell into the crack in the ground. She should have melted into water. The cold voice of 13 Wei slightly leaned over. Then dig 3 feet of ground and turn it into water and bring it back to me. 13 Wei looked cold, silent for a moment, yes. In addition, put up a gold list and summon the warriors. 10 days later, there will be a strength selection at the Peihongmen. The winner can get a spirit beast elixir. San Wei was stunned for a moment. After he left the gate, San Wei looked back at the gate and pondered. Why do good people want to hold what strength trials? It's not only the golden list of the Thunder Gate, but also a magic pill for the winner. What a temptation. It's a good game. After all, he saw with his own eyes that the woman was cut into the crack of the ground by thunder. He wanted to come up, but fell in instead. Before the ground was sewn up, he was sure that she didn't come up. Even if it doesn't turn into water, it shouldn't be human, right? If I had pulled her at that time, I would not have dug 3 feet to find her body now. San Wei laughed sarcastically and plundered towards the jungle. Taking back his angry eyes, Liao Zongtian sighed and turned to leave. With a clang sound, a sharp dagger pierced into the land in front of him. Liao Zongtian's steps brush of Emile, sharp eyes a moment startled, turned to look behind. Who? Don't mind. It's just a slip. On the roof, an extremely dazzling figure appeared. The white robe was bloodstained. In the misty morning, it was full of bloodthirsty scarlet light, and the thin lips outlined a smile of evil spirit. Liao Zongtian looked at the dragon, and a trace of surprise flashed through his eyes. What can I do for you, my lord? At the moment, the dragon's evil has changed. Liao Zongtian doesn't recognize the dragon's evil. Didn't you say it? It's just passing by. Aren't you going to leave? Please, Dragon Qing, evil golden eyes a drop, make a please gesture. Liao Zongtian's face darkens. It's fair to pass by the gate of the Thunder Gate. He's inside the gate now. Do you really think of him as ignorant? In a moment, Liao Zongtian didn't say anything. He just coagulated the dragon and left again. Shua. Qingmang's dagger comes out again, and it happens to pierce Liao Zongtian's trouser legs. Liao Zongtian suddenly stopped, and the chill around him broke out. Do you mean that you can't get along with the Thunder Gate on purpose? Looking at the leisurely dragon, Liao Zongtian plays a drum in his heart. This person doesn't know how long he has been there. If he can easily sneak into the Thunder Gate, he and the 13 guards can't find out. His strength must be unfathomable. Such people should try not to be enemies. Master Liao misunderstood me. If you leave, just ignore me. Long Qingxie plays with the last dagger in his hand, and his tone is plain. Ignore him. He can ignore him, but he can't ignore the bright dagger in his hand. Liao Zongtian has sharp eyes and looks at the last dagger in his hand. His face is cold and angry, but he doesn't dare to move forward anymore. Let you go. If you don't go, just follow your wish and stay here forever. Ah. Liao Zongtian covered his bloody knees and half knelt on the ground in pain. His scream suddenly shocked the whole door. Knee cheekbone, inserted a bright sharp dagger, has been completely attacked by blood dyed bright red. What is the purpose of strength selection competition? This is the gate of Thunderbolt. You are so bold. Ah. Before he had finished speaking, the scream broke out again. Liao Zongtian knelt down, his face was pale, and his cold sweat fell down. Why are you following her? Give me a more piercing roar and groan. Liao Zongtian looks at the dagger on his arm, and his eyes full of blood look at the dragon. He is full of disbelief. His strong body is constantly shaking at the moment. Where do you think of the Gate of Thunderbolt? Liao Zongtian's only healthy hand, which belonged to the middle period of Emperor Wuzong, rose like a flash of lightning and attacked the dragon in an instant. Long Qingxie's lips are slightly young. Looking at the fierce attack, he doesn't dodge at all. He raises his hand slightly and shakes out the black haze, which is similar to a black blade. It has a dense impact on the power of the middle period of Wuzong. Two powerful forces collided, and the after-effects were in a mess. Liao Zongtian, kneeling on the ground, was hit by the aftershocks because of his slow escape. With a bang, the black figure broke through the wall and finally stopped. Wow! The sound of broken bricks and tiles fell. Liao Zongtian tried his best to lean out of the chaos. His face was twisted and hideous, and it was terrible. In the face of the aftershocks, the dragon has not dodged and defended at all. On the white robe, there are many fresh bloodstains. A bloodstain everywhere, like blooming in the winter of blood plum blossom, cold and obstinate arrogant. Just like Cloud Dance. He looked down at the bloodstain on his body, with a complicated look under his eyes and a full radiance of evil in the corner of his mouth. At this time, there was a rapid sound of footsteps behind the gate. It seemed that there should be more than 10 people. Soon, more than 10 people in black appeared in the sight of Long Qingxie. The leader is a strange man in black. The only eye-catching thing is the iron right hand. Under the baptism of the sun, it still shines with cold light. The color of bloodthirsty fundus is more obvious. Just in time, the more people he likes, the more dynamic he is, the more excited he is. Originally, he planned to destroy the Thunder Gate and let all the people in the upper circles know the news, but now he has changed his mind. He is more interested in the strength selection 10 days later. The man who took the lead walked up to Liao Zongtian and carried him to a tree to have a rest. He said quietly, "Master, are you okay?" Liao Zongtian shakes his head slightly, coagulates the dragon's evil spirit that looks like a smile, and his killing intention rises all around in an instant. "Kill him for me." Tuo stood up and glanced at Long Qingxie, a pair of treacherous eyes extremely complex, some light, some helpless. "Ah!" Scream again, Liao Zongtian's only healthy arm, an extra Minghua's dagger. Tuo's eyes revolve. He squats down to help Liao Zongtian seal the meridians and pull out the dagger on his limbs. "Since you dare to make trouble at the Peiheng Gate, how dare you show your true face?" In the cold morning, Tuo, dressed in black robes, was out of place. Long Qingxie's mouth was full of smile, but his pale face was not soft, and he said, "You don't deserve to see me." As soon as the voice fell, more than a dozen people in black came to Tuo's side in an instant. The strange and charming feeling impacted the atmosphere around him. Tuo's eyes slightly pick, more than a dozen people in black jump in the air, but in the next second disappeared in mid-air. The breath became a little strange, and the air around it was a little oppressive. In the blink of an eye, the man in black appeared again and had already come to Dragon Qingxie's surroundings. In addition to being cold, they didn't have the intention of killing at the moment. The dragon's eyes are full of evil, the waves are dark and the evil is cold. On that day, a large number of people came, and they just made the funerary objects for his subordinates. There was blood in the gate, and it was bloody everywhere. The news spread in a day. They are all talking about a mysterious man who washed the door of the Thunder Gate with blood, but he could leave unharmed. When the news came out, plus the posting of the golden list of the Peihongmen, and the gathering of heroes, people from all walks of life were more curious, so they came quickly. Of course, they include Kang Yunbao and Jia's residence in Qingqing town. 7 days later, most of the people who can participate in the strength selection have come, and Liao Zongtian's injury has been cured, but now he needs to sit in a wheelchair. A mess of the Thunder Gate to restore the scene of the past, but still vaguely showing the smell of killing that day. For convenience, the border has been removed from the sky, and the feeling of strangeness and gloom is gone. The competition arena is set at the gold, silver, and copper table outside the door of the Peiheng Gate. 10 days later. Today, Sangyun, Baojin, Yuyan, and Jia Qingchun are here. There are also some people who dress up strangely. Some things are dark and some things are pure. By noon, people from all walks of life had gathered together, and they were all sitting in the house of Peihongmen. The old friends from all walks of life, who had not seen each other for a long time, gathered together, and they were all asking for help. In the crowd, a man wearing white gauze was sitting in a remote corner. Although his position was inconspicuous, it always attracted the gaze of others. He gently raised his cup and sipped it. His manner revealed elegance. He was dressed in white and sometimes curled up, with a kind of pure and indifferent. "Do you mind if I sit down?" A touch of inky clear voice came. Nan Gong Yue raised his eyes, glanced at the man, slightly nodded. How can you be alone? Jinyu Yen looks at Nangong Yi with some doubts, especially more curious about his appearance under the white yarn. Nangong Yi put down his teacup and said in a cool voice, "It's not time for my friends to show up." So it is. Jinyu said with a smile, but with a trace of loss in the words, "I don't know if we can be friends." Nangong Yi under the white gauze, hearing her words, raised a smile on her lips, a strange and sarcastic smile. Although Jinyu Yen can't see his smile obviously, she can feel that he is smiling. The feeling of that smile makes her feel uncomfortable. What are you laughing at? Jinyu's slender eyebrows twisted and said with a trace of anger. Does the girl say that to every stranger? Nangong Yi's voice is cool and indifferent. He picks up the teacup and looks down at it. What do you mean? Jinyu's voice was sharp and angry. Pa! The sound of china breaking. Jinyu's face was stiff, and her hand holding the teacup was suddenly shocked. The crisp cracking sound came from her hand, and her hand was in hot pain at the moment. I don't know what that means. Are you satisfied? Nangong Yisheng is warm and pure, but it is cold and indifferent. With the rhythm of white clothes, he left lightly. At that moment, the teacup in Jinyu's hands suddenly collapsed, and the residue continued to slide. 3 tiny cracks appeared in her hand. The wound had been for a long time, but the blood began to overflow after he left. Jinyu Yen looks at Nangong Yi's back and his eyes are stiff for a moment. A man who is so warm and pure is very abrupt in his decision, as if there is any hatred between them. Have they met? Is there any gap? Obviously they didn't, but where did his attitude come from? Is it consistent? Jinyu sneers. She wants him to do things for her, but she gets the bloody lesson. But when will she be taught by others? This account should be recorded first. In the crowd, a pair of evil eyes have been smiling, looking at 2 people, posture lazy wanton, but in Nanmi left with. After Liao Zongtian received all the people gathered around the challenge arena except for the Thunder Gate. In the inn not far from the challenge arena, Nangongji's figure appeared and went straight to the hall on the 2nd floor. In the hall, only a woman in black dress and black gauze was sitting in front of the window, and that position was just right to see clearly around the challenge arena. All the people who should have come are here, a lot of them. Nangong Yi sits opposite the woman, warming the cool road. The woman smelled the speech and drooped her eyes, but she didn't answer. The cool air around her became sharper with his words. What are you going to do? Nangong Yi picks up the teacup on the table and looks at it in a rotating way, but his eyes are full of solemn meditation. The woman sneered and snorted, as if the voice of sandpaper friction was hoarse, a nest of end. Nangong Yi smiles, do you still use it? Think about it and do a good deed for the dog. The woman's lips swept open a bloody and enchanting smile. The woman glanced around the challenge arena, but her eyes were on a man in a white robe. A moment later, she took back her eyes blandly, but the bottom of her eyes was no longer calm. At that moment, her eyes just met with the 4 eyes of Dragon Qingxie. Although it was only a moment, the impact at that moment did not know how complicated it was. Dragon Qing evil tightly pursed lips slightly wriggle, the next second has disappeared in the crowd. I'll go and find out, please. Nangong Yi droops his eyes and jaw head, puts down his teacup, leans on his seat with his hands around his chest, slightly closes his eyes, and seems to have a rest. The moment that a strong wind disappears, another strong wind strikes. Where is she? Nangong Yue raised his eyes and glanced at Dragon Qingxie. Who are you talking about? Cloud Dance. Dragon Qing evil eye color foam cold, glanced around, there is still a trace of her flavor in the air. There can be no mistake. Isn't she supposed to be with you? Nangong Yi looks at the dragon and frowns slightly. He is quite confused in his words. Where is the woman in black? Anyway, he will see that woman today. Are you looking for me? A cold voice sounded. Long Qingxia looked back and saw that it was the woman in black and veil. The woman came towards him slowly, and her behavior was like ice. Here we are. Nangong Yi's eyes narrowed slightly and his voice was cool. It's not her. Long Qingxia half squints his eyes and looks at the woman in front of him. Although her breath is very similar to the little things, she is not her. Did he feel wrong? I think I've got the wrong person. Talk to me. Dragon Qing Evil slightly pursed lips, swept away. He left so smartly that the two people in the hall were stunned for a moment. Does he really think it's a mistake? Nangong Yi looks at the place where the dragon leaves. No, he always believes in his feelings, especially for. In the mezzanine room, the hoarse voice swept out, but with a smile and helplessness. This man must have guessed something. It seems that there are some things I need to do. Nangong Yi's side's black dress woman ice cold of open mouth say. Silence returned to the hall, and after a long time a sigh flowed through it. Standing in front of the window, you can clearly hear the noise in the challenge arena. Liao Zongtian announced the rules of the competition and mentioned the event of dragon's blood washing in the upper world. Everyone respects the status of the dragon's blood washing in the upper world. There must be someone meddling in the event of blood washing. Master Liao, don't worry. I will help you to find out the man and let him be dealt with. Yes, leave it to us. If you dare to do harm to the Thunder Gate, it's just that you can't get along with me. I'll see if I don't clean up the boy. One after another, compliments and ignorant voices rise, most of which are full of disdain and satire. Among them, the weakest is Wuzuan Peak. They do have such arrogant capital. However, they only care about the power of martial arts, but they don't know that the strongest power is not martial arts itself. To put it bluntly, it's just some self-righteous guys. Long Qingxia sits in the corner of Renkei, showing his true face. Listening to all kinds of voices, his golden eyes are filled with a faint smile, but his lips are filled with extremely dangerous breath. It seems that the Beast Gate has taken further action. He played with the heart-shaped jade in his hands, with a doting smile in his mouth. When he said to let her take his heart, he actually put it on her. There are two pieces of heart-shaped jade. There is a strong induction between them, which can be hidden in people's body. So in order to prevent her from any danger, he can arrive in time, so he put it on her. It's also because of Pu Yu's feeling that we can chase the jungle. Just before entering the inn, Pu Yuming had a feeling, but disappeared after he entered the inn. Although this is not a good omen, it also makes him feel more at ease. You're the only one who can find it. Little thing in a corner on the second floor of the inn, there is a figure hidden. She holds a piece of jade with her slender fingers, exerting her strength slightly, cursing in her heart. This black-hearted and shameless guy. Ah Cho. Dragon Qing Xia suddenly sneezes, golden eyes pass a trace of doubt, and puts the jade into the space. His sneeze attracted the eyes of many people. Of course, some of them have met old friends. In the crowd, a woman in a brown robe walked slowly towards him with light and steady steps. You're a little slower than I thought. Jin Yiyan sits beside Long Qingxi and raises a charming smile at the corner of her mouth. The dragon tilts evil to Hang Mao's son, didn't answer words, the smile of the lip cape however sin cool many. Is that the attitude when old friends meet? Women should be more reserved and take the initiative to talk to men, which will make people feel too cheap. Long Qingxia's golden eyes flashed, glanced at her and got up to leave. Jin Yu was stunned and said with a smile, do you think everyone is as lucky as you? Just at the same second when her voice fell, Dragon Qingxia suddenly stepped on something and looked down. The evil spirit's eyebrows frowned slightly. Recently, those with bad luck have started to have bad luck. You. Jin Yu's face turned red when she heard it. She wanted to say something, but she found that she had nothing to refute. The next second, the white figure had disappeared in the crowd, but Jin Yu didn't leave for a long time. He is arrogant and evil, with a wanton smile but evil spirit. At any time, he seems to smile calmly, with no waves in his eyes. He feels like an immortal, but it makes people feel so bloodthirsty, evil and indifferent. Not every man can combine light and evil so perfectly. She knew at the moment that her heart was shaking. I don't know how many men dream that she can look at them more, but he despises her. How many men are defeated by her, but this man, a man in the human world at that time, can even draw with her. For the first time, she had a sense of frustration. It was also the first time that she thought about a man day and night. At that time, she did not know whether it was to defeat him or because of other reasons. When she learned that he was going to get married, she felt a kind of impulse in her heart. She only wanted to kill the woman he married, but she found that the woman she married was the one she wanted at the gate of Peihong. Peihongmen has repeatedly stressed that we must live well. On the contrary, if she killed that woman, the Thunder Gate would not let her go. Therefore, in order to prevent them from getting married, she can only uncover the silver list and intends to hand her over to Peihongmen. Unexpectedly, she underestimates the strength of this woman in the human world. Now I think it's really her carelessness. What's the difference between the strength of the woman a man wants to marry and her level? A month later, Jean Kongyan held a martial arts contest for her. At that time, she would let him go to the challenge arena willingly, try her best to win the contest and marry her. The man she likes must belong to her in the end. In the corner of the second floor of the inn, the atmosphere was strangely depressed. This woman is very annoying. The voice of ice cold, like a charm, instantly condenses the air around. It's not just you. Nan Gong-yi looks at Jinyu, and her calm eyes are seldom worried. I need a reason to do it. She always wanted to destroy the disgusting things she saw, but she forced herself to find a reasonable reason every time. For her to come to the upper world, is she willing to watch it? Another black figure turned to Nan Gong-yi, and his hoarse voice sounded like frosting. Smell speech, South Palace facial expression slightly a change, then thin lip helpless tiny yang. In the spacious hall, it is surprisingly quiet. Except for the occasional noise from the challenge arena, only a few indifferent breathing sounds can be heard. Suddenly, a black figure swept by, driving an extremely cold air, like frost across. Where are you going? Hand itch, need to find a few to beat the solution itch. At the end of the speech, the black figure had completely disappeared, as if it had never existed. You are so alike. Feeling the coldness in the air, Nan Gong-yi's lips are lifted and whispered. Like? Slightly smiling voice hoarse out, with a trace of drama abuse. Is it like that? Maybe it's similar. On the other hand, the competition in the challenge arena has begun in full swing. Everyone is fighting for face. If they show off their skills in front of so many experts, they will be well known. Liao Zongtian has been looking at the challenge arena. He looks at the changing people in the challenge arena, as if he is plotting something. A puzzling thing happened. Liao Zongtian actually sent someone to invite those who lost the game into the gate. Although not everyone who lost the game was invited in, was it too suspicious to invite them in? Shouldn't we invite the final winner? Unfortunately, no one seems to find this strange scene except the dragon. Of course, those who are weird themselves are not included, such as the Beast Gate and the 5-Star Club. At the end of the competition, there was only one man with the strength of Wuzong in the later stage, when everyone thought he was the final winner. A man in a black robe and a black veil flew down to the opposite side of the man. Her meaning is self-evident, challenge him. When she landed on the challenge arena, Liao Zongtian's sharp eyes flashed a trace of doubt and surprise. It was obvious that the appearance of the woman in black surprised him. It's not only Liao Zongtian, but also some strange people seem to be unexpected. Who are you? On the challenge arena, the man of Wuzong's later period looked at the woman in black and said coldly. The one who sent you down. The sound is as cold as ice. Long Qingxia looks at the woman on the stage with a slight hook on her lips. The cold breath of this woman is more dignified than Cloud Dance. If Cloud Dance is as cold as ice, then she is as cold as ice. Men smell speech, looking at the woman's eyes a little flash, that flash, happened to fall in the position of Liao Zongtian. When Liao Zongtian touched his eyes, he bowed his head slightly. This scene, the people present are still not found, in that case, please give me advice. The man leaned forward with the sword and finished his speech. The sword in his hand turned over, and his figure twisted like magic silk. He stabbed the woman in the past. The woman didn't hide at all. A gust of wind swept by, and the black gauze floated with the wind. The cold face, like death, showed itself in everyone's eyes. His so beautiful, so cold, it's a face with soft lines, a little more is not perfect. Although it's only a blink of an eye, what people see is very vague, but beauty and coldness are what people see. If you can see that face clearly, how happy it is. It is because of this that she wears the veil all the year round. So far, there are only 2 people who have seen her real face alive. And now the 2 are enjoying their tea and watching. What's your bet? Nangong Yi looks at the woman opposite and shows a rare smile. 3 moves. I'll make a bet. What if you lose? You win her, you lose her. Bang! On the challenge arena, there was a roar. Just when everyone was surprised, the final result of the game was settled. Waste. The woman uttered a cold voice. Bing Mang glanced at the man at her feet. Then, as if she had met something filthy, she flicked the dust on her robe. One move will defeat the strength of Wuzong later. How is that possible? But the fact is right in front of us. The man who won the last place is now like a pool of dead mud, lying on the challenge arena in great distress, motionless. Seeing this scene, Liao Zongtian's dark eyes were surprised for a long time, and then recovered to calm after a long time. I declare that this woman has won the final prize. Tonight, I'll go to the gate of Pinghong to take care of her. Although her appearance was unexpected, it turned out to be good. This woman's strength has been beyond people's ability. If she can use it for herself, it's not a good result. After all the people congratulated, under the leadership of Liao Zongtian, she went into the gate of Thunderbolt. Before she left, she blinked towards the 2nd floor of the inn, and then walked into the gate of Thunderbolt. It's exactly what you guessed. Nangong Yaiwenchin smiles and admires Yunwu's tactics. The pot is ready. Now it's time to slaughter the meat. Cloud Dance sneer, smile as sharp as a blade. When are you going to see him? Nangong Yi glanced at the last dragon, and said in a low voice. In the corner, the white figure was reflected in the purple pupil, with a complex look. After a moment. He must understand the reason why I did it, and he will do it according to my will. The South Temple coagulates one eye. Cloud Dance, half droop mouse sun, voice than usual sun cool some, do you really so understand him? She smiles, and the smile is very bright. Who made him my man? Her man, the darkest and wisest guy in the world, couldn't understand what she was thinking. Nangong Yi hears the speech, droops the eye to smile together, smile of indifference bitterness. By the way, I lost. You're her. As the night falls, the quiet night is still noisy, which is destined to be another night of restlessness. The front yard and backyard of the whole Thunder Gate are bustling with people. All the heroes gathered here are drinking and eating meat. They have a good time. No one finds out that the top 10 contestants in the competition arena have never appeared since they were defeated. Liao Zongtian said hello to everyone and left with a woman in black. Somewhere in the backyard. It's only tens of meters away from the bustling crowd, and you can still see the fuzzy crowd. What's weird is that it's extremely quiet, and you can't hear any noise from the outside world. It's the boundary of space. This place is cut off by a space barrier. Liao Zongtian and the woman in black come to a room. Against the background of the night, the dim candle light in the room is particularly dazzling. You can see some dark shadows flickering. It is obvious that there are people inside. Just as I opened the door, I saw several people sitting on both sides of the room. One side was filled with the smell of darkness, and the other side was extremely pure. Sit down, please. Liao Zongtian asks her to sit down and turns her wheelchair to one side. What do you call a girl? I have regarded the girl as my own. Why don't I take off the veil and show her to others? Liao Zongtian looks at the woman in black with a greedy look in her eyes. The woman in black didn't even look at him. Bing Han said, "Qi, give me more advice." Knight, why not take it off? I've made a rule for myself. People who see my true face must be dead in the next second. Do you want to see it? Qi Knight glanced at all of you, and put a layer of ice on his cold eyes. Everyone's face changed when they heard the words. It was as ugly as eggplant. Then they coughed a few times. No one dared to mention it again. She has seen all her strength, and no one wants to get into trouble. This is the elder of 10,000 Beast Gate Wood, and this is the president of the 5-Star Society. Liao Zongtian pointed to the people on both sides and introduced Qi Yi's one by one. Smell speech, Qi Night color ice color mouse sun flits over a very shallow ray of light, no one in the audience discovers her abnormality. Knight, you should be very clear about their status. As long as you are willing to join, the conditions are up to you. Liao Zongtian looks at Qi's Knight, conceals the sharpness in his eyes, and says very calmly. Qi Night pale lips slightly move, as if in smile, she really guessed. There is an unknown business between the Beast Gate and the 5-Star Club, and Liao Zongtian is a person who cherishes talent. This time, she has only 2 ways to go. One is the miserable death, and the other is the scenery life. The result depends on her answer. I don't know if the next thing will be in her expectation. If she continues to follow her expectation, that woman will be really terrible. In that case, her only history of defeat in the war would not be so humiliating. If you want me to join you, when I hear the news that the Jia family in Qingqing town has been destroyed, that's when I join you. Jia Fu. Do you have any grudges with Jia family? Her words into Liao Zongtian's ears is a doubt bomb, but also an opportunity to use. There are too many grudges to say. Do you think I can hear the good news? Qi Yi looks at Liao Zongtian, the tone of insipidity takes the ice cold in the bone. Looking at Qi Knight, Liao Zongtian's eyes are full of doubts, more calculation. Ha ha. Liao Zongtian suddenly laughs and looks at Qi Yi's with fierce eyes. Zhuge Liang, who is invited by my friends, is invited by a Jia family. Today, I'll invite you to Qi Yi's. If not, or as she said, he did not ask her origin identity purpose, so agreed. Then I'll wait for your good news. Qi Yi's got up, turned and disappeared into the night. It's said that the people of Jia's family originally wanted to participate in the strength selection, but somehow they met the attack on the way, with countless casualties. In the night, like the voice of cold charm, it swings into the narrow room, constantly hitting and whirling for a long time. Everyone looked at each other, looked down and pondered, thinking of each other. In the quiet residence, the fragrance of flowers is diffuse, and the lotus in the pool is particularly clear against the moonlight. The whole thing seems to be going your way. Qi Yi's looked at the cloud dancing on the garden railing. He couldn't tell what it was like. Cloud dance straight body, turn round to see to Qi Knight, let them dog bite dog first. Don't cut the meat first. I can't run away with the meat I've got. It's just a little later. Cloud dance lips slightly young, evoke a clear smile, even now dazzling moonlight has become a foil. It looks like you need a little more power. Qi Knight color mouth corner ice cold road. Cloud dance micro jaw head did not answer, she really needs power, now she has no power, can only hide so, really hold back. When she fell into the crack of the ground and was on the line of life and death, it was Long Qingxie who secretly touched the Puyu on her body and saved her life. If it wasn't for the Puyu who released her power for her to use, she would not have survived. Although he escaped, he was seriously injured by the power of water mixed with huge thunder. He accidentally swallowed a drop of water and destroyed his voice. After fleeing, she is not in a coma. Fortunately, she meets Nan Gong Yi. He takes her to Qi Yi's residence. Fortunately, with Qi Yi's help, she regains her strength in just one night, even her burned face. Well, her face ruined her throat. She's really miserable. I don't know whether it's lucky or unfortunate. With the huge thunder, her thunder element's strength is strangely improved. The thunder element that comes out with you can scorch a spirit beast. She was a little surprised by the strange power. In the early morning of the next day, she got the competition of the strength selection of the Thunder Gate. She also knew that the Jia family wanted to find her and get the pendant back through the influence of the Thunder Gate. This pendant is a terrible power that everyone wants, and the Beast Gate will naturally like it. In order to prevent the Gate of Beasts from knowing that the key to the power of water is in her hand, she has to destroy Jia's house. And the Beast Gate has been coveting the key of Jia's water power, because of various reasons. Qi Yi's condition is just to give them a pole. The effect is to make them climb up the pole. Let them bite each other and drink bitter water. When she wanted to stop Jia Qingchun's speed, she found that Jia Qingchun had been attacked, the car was destroyed and people were killed, which was extremely miserable. Cloud Dance, Vermilion and Tiny Hook, he made it, right? He should have known the origin of the pendant for a long time. Although he was worried about the revenge of the Jia family, he didn't say it all the time, and he had been paying attention to the movement of the Jia family, which happened to help her. There is really no reason for him to make a big noise at the gate. The only reason that can explain it is anger, right? She guessed that he wanted to wash the door of the Thunder Gate, otherwise he would not have abandoned Liao Zongtian so cruelly. Later, he suddenly stopped, in order to let Liao Zongtian successfully carry out the strength selection competition, so as to wait for her to come out. He knew she would show up. This man, how deep the city is, she really can't find out. Thinking about men again. Qi Night cold hum a, disdain of the corner of the mouth a yang. Why don't you think I miss women anymore? There are 2 words floating on your face, whore. Do you think a woman can show you such a small woman's charming state? Qi Night color dislikes of white she one eye, seem to be some can't stand. How do you know Nanganji? The cloud danced a suspicious glance at her, looked at her, did not let off any tiny expression. He was seriously injured when he broke through the border. I picked him up and got to know him. Qi Night color sun cold mouse sun, insipid cold say. After that, I kept it with all my heart. I can't lose it until now, can I? Cloud danced toward her a pick eyebrow, star Mao Yao E twinkle, can't help but tease. Qi Night smell speech, originally pale as morbid face, more frost white a few minutes, then pick up the sword in hand, ice cold way, this sword, should see blood can better moisten. This sword is extremely sharp. I love slicing fish. I'll trouble you for dinner. The cloud dances, the eye ground passes a touch of cold light, the corner of the mouth is slightly pursed, a skimming body disappears in the garden. Qi Night put away the long sword, coagulated one eye cloud dance to leave of direction, ponder for a moment, turn round to also disappear. Under the quiet starry sky, everything seems so harmonious. Why are you again? Cloud Dance looks at Xiaomu in the distance, and her eyes are cold. Xiaomu heard the voice of Cloud Dance, red eyes swept a trace of joy, looking back, friend, we meet again. Cloud Dance slightly frowns, how does this person always appear so imperceptibly? And then vanish in a very strange way. Friend, you seem to have a lot of trouble. Xiaomu sincerely looked at the Cloud Dance, Pu Jade general transparent lips slightly pulled. So I'm solving the problem, or I'll solve your problem by the way. Cloud Dance slightly pick willow eyebrows, a trace of unhappiness between eyebrows. When it comes to the current troubles, she can see them and know where the root of them is. She can control everything. Only he, the man in front of him, a mysterious person who doesn't know anything about him, is out of her control. To say trouble, he is the most dangerous trouble. I'm your friend. How can you kill me? What do you want to help me with this time? Cloud Dance twists him one eye, indifferent mouth. He's right. Since I met him, apart from threatening her with tornadoes, he didn't seem to have done anything harmful to her. On the contrary, he indirectly helped her a lot. Is this man really a friend, not an enemy? Shangjia is brand new in her life. She has no friends at all except the people of Wanwoman. Why is there such a person willing to help her over and over again? What is his purpose? My friend, these are all minions. It's not worth your hand. You'd better look for the 5 elements. That's what you have to do. Xiaomu mouth slightly yawn, red eyes strange more red. Cloud Dance frowns slightly, minion. It's these people who make her live a vigorous life every day, and try her best to deal with them. He actually said that they were just small minions. Didn't he know she was alone now? As the saying goes, 2 fists are hard to beat 4 hands. That's why she keeps improving her strength and causing so much trouble. You know everything about me. Do you think your words can convince me? My friend, your strength has been improved very quickly. If you are entangled with them, this is the only way. To solve the problem, you still have to cut down the roots. Xiaomu looked at the Cloud Dance, not smiling. Pu Yu's face slightly revealed a bright light. Cloud Dance eyes suddenly a cold, lip corners disdain a yang, in the final analysis, or want her to deal with 10,000 beast door. In that case, it's up to him. In fact, she was thinking that since her strength could not be improved, she had to find a stronger way of evolution. There must be many difficulties on the way to find the 5 elements, but it was a great opportunity for cultivation. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Unfortunately, some things are not always as she wishes. 2 days later. Suburban Woods Inn. Get the hell out of here. With a hoarse roar, 5 people in black came down from the sky. The people who were eating glanced at the 5 people. They all looked disdainful and completely ignored them. They all have martial arts skills. How can they leave because of other people's words? I'll kill all those who don't leave. With an order, the noise in the inn stopped, and the smell of killing became dignified. A moment later, the hole in blood spatter, corpses everywhere, heartbreaking howl into the heart. The man in black glanced at the inn, determined that there was no living, and immediately swept to the 2nd floor. Their target is on the 2nd floor. In the forest in the distance, 2 delicate figures lurk behind the big tree. Behind them is a man in white with white gauze on his head. A satisfied smile appears at the corner of his lips. It seems that the trouble has been solved. Will Jia Qingchun tell them that the key to water power has been lost? Chi Night Ice eyes static, such as stagnant water coagulation in. The key to the power of water is his living chip. If he loses the key, he will be worthless. Do you think he will say it? The cloud dances in the corner of the lip and draws out an evil and bloodthirsty radiance. The whole inn has been wrapped up by Jia Qingchun. The people who have just been killed are all his people. They deserve to die. But his life is at stake. He will try to save it. Nangong Yi looks at the blood flowing from the 2nd floor of the inn, and her calm eyes reflect a touch of bright red. Under the reflection of the sun, the blood was twisted and strange. That's why I asked you to evacuate your muscles. Last time, although Jia Qingchun didn't have the chance to attack them, she could feel the strength of him, which should not be underestimated. But these 5 people are the assassins secretly cultivated by the 5-star society. The strength of the assassin has reached the stage of terror and strangeness. It's no surprise to kill Jia Qingchun. But Jia Qingchun is not a fool, he will know who took the key to protect his life, so Jia Qingchun will only be seriously injured, will not lose his life, the rest will need their 3 hands. 5 assassins and Jia Qingchun. She has the same dark power as the Beast Gate. It's too easy for her to plant the evil. She's gambling. She's gambling that the Beast Gate and the 5-Star Club join hands on the surface and secretly use each other. Chi hears the sound of the second layer swords killing, the ice Mao is a little dim, then wait, that man will go to drag 10,000 Beast Gate? Yes. Cloud Dance in different way. He must have guessed her plan, and would surely go to drag down the people of the Beast Gate. Then I'll solve the itching problem first. Black robe rhythm, orchid fragrance across the tip of the nose, cloud dance, mouth slightly yawn, star eyes bloodthirsty forest cool, 2 wipe figure left one after another. Their hunt begins. In the inn, the smell of blood is dignified. Tell me where the key is. I'll spare your life. Who are you? Jia Qingchun is lying on the ground, his robe soaked with blood. The red objects in his eyes are constantly fluctuating, like small insects, devouring her eyes. Ah! Jia Qingchun convulsed violently, covered his eyes and wailed, his voice tearing like a ghost. The man in black is blowing a whistle. With the sound of the whistle, the red object in Jia Qingchun's eyes is fluctuating and speeding up. The whole eyeball has become abrupt, as if it is going to explode. I said blood flowed down his eyes, and his hands turned red. Through the gap, we can clearly see that the eyeball has been broken by the tiny insects, and the residual meat is hanging out of the eye contour, which is extremely frightening. After a while, the eyeball coagulated into blood, and there was only a bloody hole on the eye contour. If the whistle does not stop, the red worms will continue to swim, deep into the brain. Cloud Dance looked at this scene, some horror. This scene, how like a thriller. It's witchcraft. It's more powerful than human beings. Nangongyi looked at the red object, his eyes drooped slightly for a moment, and said, it's a poison that only the witch people can use. What kind of witches do they use? Cloud Dance slightly frowns, the eye ground passes a trace of cold on. Such a creepy magic trick should be a trick used by the dark department, right? Is there any dark witch people alive? She knows something about poisonous insects, but they only control people's mind and body. They are far less powerful than the witchcraft. In the distance, Jia Qingchun twisted into a group in pain. He looked down at him in black. Jia Qingchun calmed down the pain for a while, trembling and hoarse, said, I was taken away by a woman, but I know where she is. I can take you to find her. What does that woman look like? The man in black said coldly. I didn't see the specific appearance clearly, but I know that she must be in Qingyong City, and there are 2 men with her. The bloodstain all over his body is extremely ferocious and gloomy. Jia Qingchun's end at the moment is like being in hell. Cloud Dance's eyes are slightly cold. There is a sneer on the corner of his lips. His eyes are gone. He can even resist not to faint. It seems that he is afraid that he will never wake up if he faints. What a pity, take us. If we can't find her, it's not so easy to die. After that, a man in black picked up Jia Qingchun's clothes and dragged them out of the inn like a corpse. Cloud Dance watched 5 people drag Jia Qingchun out of the inn, eyes color provocative, a skimming block in front of 5 people. 5 steps suddenly stopped, with a trace of danger looking at her. Who? The man you're looking for. Cloud Dance hands ring chest, lazy mouth. Yes, it's you. Hearing the voice of Cloud Dance, Jia Qingchun's pale face became more stiff. Her whereabouts are the only chips for him to survive. Her presence means that he is worthless. Cloud Dance cold glanced Jia Qingchun, looking at his shocked appearance, mouth slightly pull. Mayor, long time no see, this is not to greet you old man, yo, how has become this pair of dog ignore appearance? Is she the one who took the key? The man in black asked Jia Qingchun. Jia Qingchun was stiff and silent for a long time. It seems to be me. Is it what you are looking for? Yunwu takes out the pendant and shakes it in front of her eyes, then it is put into the space. The man in black's face changed when he saw the pendant. He stretched out half of his hand to grab it, but Yunwoo took it back in an instant. Yunwoo starts to smile and wants to play the game of snatching with her. It's probably too young. When she snatches things from others, they should still learn how to snatch, right? Your foreplay of killing people is too long, isn't it? An icy voice came out, the black figure suddenly attacked, and the red snake sword twisted out strangely, hitting the 5 people directly. 5 people instantly back, snake sword firmly inserted into the tree next to a few people, sonorous a constantly trembling call. The 5 heard Qi Yi's words, and they were all ready to kill him. The strange breath swept in an instant, but it was offset by a touch of quiet fighting spirit. How do you think we should divide these 5 people? The cloud danced to stare at Qi Knight, the facial expression of the fundus of the eye but some absent-minded. That's not enough to solve my itching. Qi Knight is like a sick mouth, raising a disdainful smile. Then they'll leave it to the 2 of you. Cloud Dance slightly droops eyes put on a trace of worry. She's worried about what's going on over there. Although she knows that there won't be any problem with that man's strength, she can't help worrying. Go and find your lover. Qi Knight cold hum some disdain of withdraw eyes. In a flash, a touch of red figure suddenly swept out, like blooming in the winter of the bright red Aume general, breath cold, momentum cold. This is Qi's state when she was fighting in the night. I still remember that her physical strength had recovered just after she woke up. They were fighting with each other without any reason. At that time, she also changed into a red dress. She said that this red dress had a special meaning for her, so she kept it in the space all the time. Every time she fought at the cost of blood, she would change it. At that time, Yunwoo also said that she was deliberately forcing, although now she still thinks so. After giving this to Nangong Yi and Qi Yi's, Yunwoo rushes all the way to Qingyong City. If she guesses right, he should be in the jungle where she disappeared, right? But when she rushed to the jungle, she found that there was no dragon's evil figure except for the corpse of 10,000 beast men. The battle is over. Has he gone back? Although this idea is reasonable, she thinks it is unlikely. This man never plays cards according to common sense. The next second, a touch of familiar breath swept, in the moment of Cloud Dance up, has been a warm and powerful embrace of the dead hold. Little thing, you finally show up. Her voice was low and hoarse, her breath was short, and her hand around her waist was very strong, as if she was afraid that the person in front of her would disappear once she let go. Cloud Dance micro frown, black yarn under the eyes of the stars cannot say the complexity. After a long time, she gently pulled out a smile, voice hoarse way, young master, recognize the wrong person? Hearing her voice, Long Qingxia's body was obviously stiff. It doesn't matter if I admit my mistake. I want you. Dragon's evil nest is in her hair, absorbing her own taste. The smell reassured him. Is that a red apricot coming out of the wall? Yunwoo sneered and leaned on him with a sigh of relief. Long Qingxia knocked on her forehead and said, little thing, you are so cruel. How can you be so calm that you can't see him, and you can't tell him clearly that she's okay, so you're not afraid of him dying for love? Where is that man? The clouds are dancing and the eyes are drooping, and the cold is coming. Rest, I don't think I can wake up in 10 days and a half. Cloud Dance lips slightly hook, to this man work quite at ease. When she fell into the crevice of the earth, she found that someone had been watching her. The man thought she was dead, so he appeared. But she was still alive, so he decided to play a trick. If it wasn't for the news of her death, how could the heavyweights of the Beast Gate and the 5-Star Club show up so easily? They had a lot of trouble for the map at the bottom of the temple. Who's going to miss the chance to get her body? At that time, she conjectured that once the news of her death came out, Liao Zongtian would send someone to look for her body. If the body could not be found, they would be suspicious. Although the 13 guards watched her fall into the crevice and couldn't find her body, they were all old foxes. If they couldn't see her, they would search again. In order to make everyone think that she is dead, she can only hide from everyone, including Long Qingxie. But she knew that the city government, which used dragon to pour out evil spirits, would not believe that she died like this. It was just that he was acting. How did you expect me to be alive? Cloud Dance looked back at Dragon Qingxie, and a trace of smile passed by her eyes. Dragon Qing Evil Sword Eyebrow 1 Yang, my woman has several genes several Yang, can I still not know? Oh. Cloud Dance Chimua smile, then sigh, take out the arms of the jade, if it is not it, I really will be squeezed into a cake. She shook the jade in front of Long Qingxie's eyes, and there was a sharp flash in her eyes. Long Qingxie curled his mouth and arched to her neck in a coquettish way. Look, I saved your life for my husband. I'm not moved. I want to make an agreement with her. Cloud Dance hears speech, forehead rubs however to emerge a few black lines. Although what he said is true, she has no words to refute, but the premise is that if she is not in danger, this thing will become his thing to track and monitor her. Tracking these 4 words, even if she cannot accept. However, she was not happy with what others said. She had to thank his 8th-generation ancestors, little thing, in case of danger, you must remember to inform Weifu. No matter how far it is, I believe I can save you. He said extremely sensational charm, she heard the heart tremble, inexplicable a twitch. It's full of words. If you can't save yourself once, you can have a bachelor's day all your life. She swept away, did not dare to look at him, that calm heart, again because of his words' ups and downs, uneven for a long time, but also with a twitch. I don't like to be a bachelor. I wish I could be with you and eat you again. Each time the white figure was about to catch up with the purple figure seemed to be in a fit of anger, speeding up to get rid of him. This is repeated one after another. It's not fun for this little thing to get angry. Then he sighed helplessly, it is clear that she did not see him, should be angry with him. How come the situation is reversed now just met, he let the little thing run away before he was warm. He didn't want to waste his time endlessly. Ah! A scream came from behind Yunwu. It was very sad. Cloud Dance micro frown, instant look back to see, only to see a white figure fast falling, more and more small. As soon as the star eyes tightened, the figure swept toward the white shadow. Just as the white figure fell to the ground, she caught him safely. At this moment, the dragon's evil golden eyes are slightly closed, and the corners of his lips are slightly pursed. It seems that he has fainted. But Yunwu doesn't know. He has already had a good time in his heart sure enough, he is always safe in front of this little thing. Just like now, he is enjoying the feeling of falling into the air rapidly, and he has no worries about falling to the ground and breaking his bones and muscles. He knew that she would not allow that to happen. It's a good feeling. Faint or dead? Cloud Dance micro frown, in his evil half-face crisp slap. When she felt that Long Qingxie's breathing was stable and her body had no external wound, she finally put down her heart. Isn't this the legendary Sleeping Beauty? Maybe you just kiss him. The voice of Ice Cold came out in front of the Cloud Dance. Cloud Dance willow eyebrow micro see you, lift eyes to see to front, red figure already hazy appear, follow behind her is a touch of white figure. Looking at the 2 figures, the Cloud Dancing star's eyes are dim. From such a distance, you can see that Dragon Qingxie is sleepy. Can she also use her spiritual power to explore? The red shadow falls to the ground clearly, and the ice eye glances at the people on the ground. As soon as the snake sword comes out, it stabs and says, "Are you dead?" Kang. The trembling sound of the sword resounded. Chi Knight saw Cloud Dance one eye, strong endure to start to upload of shock pain, ice cold way, trouble. Yunwu takes back Qingmang's eyes and looks at the dragon. There's a touch of meditation in her eyes. She's just thinking. Will she wake up with a kiss? After thinking about it, she thought that she could try it, and she kept smiling. The next second, a hot and humid kiss fell on the thin lips of Dragon Qingxie. That kiss was quite hot. In the blink of an eye, the dragon Qingxie in Yunwu's arms has disappeared, replaced by a chubby thing. It's not little stink. Who is it? Long Qingxie in the distance, looking at the little stink in Yunwu's arms, burning cold anger in his golden eyes, wiping the corners of his lips is dangerous and frightening. Poof! Qi Yi's, who had always been as cold as ice, couldn't resist his smile. Sleeping Beauty really wakes up with a kiss. Under the white gauze, Nangong Yi's indifferent lips also evoke. Mama, stink. Little Stink is dancing in the arms of Cloud Dance, complaining about what everyone on the scene can understand. Yunwu lowers her head. She can't hang down anymore. She can clearly feel the dangerous and angry eyes in the distance, and the little guy is still adding fire in this innocent way. Little thing, I don't have this hobby. Long Qingxie walks to the clouds, her golden eyes are slightly narrowed, her thin lips are lazy, and a dangerous smile is aroused. Cloud Dance back a cool, lift a mao to see, Long Qing evil hand is holding a Minghua's dagger. Suddenly her face changed. What did he want to do? What are you doing? Cloud Dance stares at Long Qingxie, and the cold light suddenly appears. Eat meat. What he said was simple and crude. You dare. Cloud Dance holds small Stink to stand up, a face vigilant looking at the dragon to pour evil. Mama. The little Stink, who is not afraid of heaven and earth, looks at the dragon's evil spirit, arched in the arms of the Cloud Dance, and looks a little scared. After a long time, Yunwu found that the dragon's evil spirit really came, and his base spirit was instantly released. It's just a kiss, isn't it? Yunwu takes Xiaoqiu back to the space and turns his mouth to the dragon. Why do you hold it instead of me? The Cloud dances to smell speech, the facial expression instantly a coagulate, he is because of this just so big anger. Behind Qi Knight, Cold hum a smile, facing the dialogue between the two creatures some helpless, turned and left. And the South Palace deeply coagulates two people for a long time, the eyes of calm sun half hang, can't say what complicated, turn round to also follow Qi Knight color to leave. Cloud Dance sighed. How did she forget that this guy was a careful eye after they left the jungle, they planned to stay in the inn first. The news of Yunwu's death has spread all over the Beast Gate and the Five-Star Club. At the moment, they are busy looking for the map of the temple that disappeared with her corpse. They must be looking for her whereabouts everywhere. It seems that she needs to be careful when she goes back to the city. At the moment, she can't live. On the way back, a few people went back on foot, but they met the people in the Thunder Gate. In order not to reveal her identity, she hid in the dark. The people at the gate of the Thunder Gate are driving a carriage and pressing 10 boxes. They are in a hurry. There are 20 people pressing the boxes. Everyone's strength is not inferior to that of the martial saint. It seems that the boxes should contain something very important. Cloud Dance looks at those boxes, and a look of inquiry passes by. What do you think is in it? Whatever it is, it must be fun to follow the past. Long Qingxie smiles and dotes on Cloud Dance, which breaks her mind. Cloud Dance glanced at him, eyes slightly heavy. Suddenly Lu Mei a pick, should not be that competition of 10 people. Long Qingxie nodded and affirmed her words. Yunwu's eyes were startled. She just thought that the 10 boxes and the 10 missing people were coincidental. She combined them together, but she didn't expect that they were real. What's the use of these people for those who failed? Cloud Dance heart is full of doubts, looking back to Qi Knight, said, You go back first, I'll see what the game of the Thunder Gate is playing. I'll go with you for my husband. Just as Yunwu is about to leave, a powerful force pulls her arm. Yunwu looks back at the dragon and looks at her head slightly. Qi Yi's looks at those 20 people, the eye ground frost is like ice, these people are not simple. Can anything happen? Looking at Yunwu's back, Qi Yi's cared about others for the first time in his life. The two of them join hands. I'm afraid these people don't have enough to share. Let's relax. Nangong Yi said in a cool voice. Although it seems extremely easy to say on the surface, my heart has begun to worry that there must be some secret hidden behind these people's imprisonment, and it is enough to destroy their secret. He is not sure if they can escape alive after they are found. After the two left, they followed the motorcade all the way into a barren mountain. The barren mountain was uneven and undulating, and there was no other choice but stones. It's a good place to hide yourself. After a rough curve, the carriage finally stopped in a cave. The outside of the cave is more than 3 meters high, and there will be 2 meters high space in the contents. Moreover, there is a huge spiritual power hidden around these caves. Most people will be driven away by the spiritual power and can't enter. After the 20 men carried the 10 boxes into the cave, Yunwu dived into the cave and captured 2 people's clothes. After they changed, they dived into the cave together. As soon as you enter the cave, Yunwu feels a little surprised. This cave is not as bright as the previous one. It's a bit brighter than the natural light. After careful exploration, we find that the brilliance comes from many night pearls. No wonder it's so bright. Yunwu picked up a night pearl and played with it in his hand. His eyes were complicated. He looked up at the dragon and said, "Who do you think is the owner of this cave? Is there too much oil and water?" Long Qingxie smiles and nods, "It's too rich indeed." Yunwu nodded in agreement, nodding and stuffing a few night pearls into the space. If it was in modern times, she would doubt whether it was the place where night pearls were produced. After they left, an imperceptible breath appeared. He was smiling at the back of Cloud Dance, and he had no choice but to smile. "Who is it?" Suddenly, a roar came from behind them. Cloud Dance smell speech back slightly. "Zheng, look stiff for a second, the next second will change into a smiling face, back way, sorry, brother urgent urine, want to find a place nearby to solve." Hearing Yunwu's words, the man's face turned black. "Is this the place you can touch?" "Get out of here, yes, people can't touch here." Cloud Dance all the way nodded, gray left, "But that person can't see, that serval face, is a how cunning point fine on eyes." The man always felt that Yunwu's words were a little harsh, but he couldn't figure out anything. He just put a lot of eyes on Longqingxi. Cloud Dance has been bowing and bowing, but the dragon has always been a calm and unassuming posture. The man's strange eyes have been watching 2 people leave. He has been paying attention to the dragon, because in him, he felt a trace of danger. "Can't you hurt your posture?" In the distance, a cold, sulky voice sounded low. "I'm not afraid of him for my husband." Dragon Qingxie slightly picks sword eyebrows and casts a wink at Cloud Dance. Cloud Dance White Dragon Qing Evil Eye, now can't expose identity. Naturally, that person is not his opponent. Even if she completely exposes her identity, she is sure that she can escape. But at the moment, nothing is clear. It's not the time to fight with others. Dragon Qing Evil Mouth slightly yawn, evoke a smile of enchantment, reward 1, for the husband listen to the lady is. Then he put his face to the cloud. "Can you be serious?" Cloud Dance frowns slightly. "What's the situation now? Why is there no one keeping a low profile under the eaves? Let's go to the kitchen and get something to eat first." Does she keep a low profile? Yunwu sniffs the smell of the kitchen all the way, while Long Qingxie always calmly follows her. Suddenly, Long Qingxie pulls Yunwu into his arms, spins and leans on the wall of the cave. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.